I want to bless that guy, that son of a
that son of a that poor son, that poor son, that
son of a bitch.
Are you recording?
I am. I'm just trying to remember what I just had for lunch so I can put it in my calorie thing.
Oh.
It was a steak and kidney pie, and which was lovely.
Wait a minute. This is great content. Don't waste this. Don't
No.
waste it. Wait, okay, let's sync. Eleazar, keep this all in.
No.
3, 2, 1, sync.
Sync.
Okay, now tell us about the steak and kidney pie, which I've never eaten one of those. I've never.
You never eaten a steak and kidney pie? It's just beef chunks, kidney chunks in a beef gravy as a pie.
Kidney chunks sounds so disgusting.
Well, it's a kidney. It's sort of a weird meat. Yeah, you get used to it.
It sounds really good, actually.
It's a weird meat that's not normal.
Yeah.
It's like eating like beef heart, cow heart, or whatever. It's like, that's odd. But kidney's alright. It's sort of like mushrooms, but if they were more beefy.
Ooh. That sounds alright. I've heard that beef heart is like disgusting.
I've never actually eaten it, but I can imagine.
Actually,
it's like very, very tough because it's a muscle.
Yeah.
Like so lean.
There's I haven't watched it in a little while, but there was that channel I was watching for a while called Tasting History with Max Miller, and I think one episode he did like a themed one where I think he might have been like doing a Game of Thrones Dothraki thing where he cooked a beef heart instead of a horse heart, like Daenerys ate to become Khaleesi. And he cooked it. He found a recipe and he cooked it according to the recipe and he ate it, and his reaction was just like, oh God, it's so tough. It's disgusting.
Makes me respect Daenerys even more.
They probably had maybe they like stewed that heart for like a week. Maybe they marinated it for like months to get it like nice and chewy.
I always wondered about. I remember looking at like Blu-ray extras, and I think the heart was a heart, or
like they had
it wasn't
a
a
real
heart, and it was a fake thing that looked like a heart. Any case,
one or the other, yeah.
It was either real or fake, and that's what I remember.
It either was or was not. I see. Yes, excellent, spectacular. Anyway, never had kidney.
Yeah, it's not everyone likes it. I didn't like it when I was younger, but in a steak and kidney pie, it is very nice with the gravy.
I think I remember my dad telling me that like he went to, I don't know if it was England or maybe it was somewhere else in Europe, but I think I remember him saying that he was a vegetarian at the time, but like he was staying with some family and they offered him, maybe it was steak and kidney pie or maybe it was some other kind of meat pie that contained organs, but he like found he didn't want to refuse out of like politeness, but it like he threw up at the table or something because he was like it was so bizarre. I
feel like that wouldn't have been a steak and kidney pie. It's not that odd.
It's too normal, yeah.
It's like the gravy and the beef mask the taste of the kidney. You can have kidney and other things.
My dad's a little bit of a picky eater. He like won't eat like chicken on the bone.
Lol.
I know. Weak.
Chicken drumstick, like grilled, like from a barbecue, is great. Just hold the bone, you just gnaw on it.
Yeah, like wings. Like, come on.
It's easy.
It is easy. He won't eat like most shellfish. He won't eat chicken on the bone, and he won't eat most shellfish. And that's I just don't. I mean, I don't like oysters, but I think that's
oysters are a bit weird because you're supposed to like slurp them up in the most disgusting way you could possibly do anything. But mussels, you can pick them up with a fork. A mussel, you can eat those. Yes. So I like doing that.
I've tried oysters like twice. I've eaten them the way they've told me to eat them, and I'm just like, I don't get it. Why?
Like I feel like Gollum trying to eat an oyster. Yeah. I feel like I am like Goblin right then.
I am going goblin mode. as they say.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of,
I had baby potatoes and broccoli.
That's
thinking, I think.
I've been actually quite a few. I've still been tracking my calories. A lot of my calories have been coming from pure sugar lately because I've been cooking more. I've been cooking more gummies with my new recipe. Actually, I put more. I was fucking around with it. I put more sugar in and less fiber to see if that would like make it easier to like gel. Because I made one batch that was like low sugar and it came out kind of soft, and I was like, that didn't work out so well. But I definitely cooked it with a really low sugar, and it definitely worked out a few times. And so I don't know. I would like to work out like what's the least. I think the most expensive ingredient that I have is fiber. So, least fiber would be good. I think the gelatin is the second most expensive, so less gelatin would be good. Sugar is cheap. Sugar is like cheaper than dirt. So, bulking it up with as much of that as I can is good. And then water is free. So, that's the best.
Most try to make it almost entirely water. You've got like a perfect product.
Imagine
the returns.
I bought some new flavors. I was really excited to get green apple, but this brand of green apple that I got, it doesn't taste like a Jolly Rancher green apple. It doesn't really taste like a candy green apple. I kind of can taste like the peel. I can kind of taste like a sort of cooked like apple pie flavor in it, and I don't like it. It's disappointing. It's not what I want from a green apple flavor. So it's a bit of a bust, but that's okay. They can't all be winners. Yeah.
Apple flavor things are usually quite sour, aren't they?
Like
tangy almost.
Yeah, I make all my gummies pretty sour just because I like them that way. I made the batch that I gave to my friend for his birthday. Everyone that tried them was like, "Oh, they're sour." I was like, "Yep, that's
how I feel about you."
Yeah, it would be a waste. Actually, I made a batch of peach and I forgot to add the acid, and they came out not sour at all, and they were terrible. It was so bad. So I popped them out of the molds and I put them in a cup and I added the acid, and then I like melted them down in the microwave. I reforged them into a new blade. And I did though. And then I remolded them and they actually came out better. Like they came out firmer. Like I had evaporated some of the moisture off of them. Maybe I should do that all the time. Maybe I should always put them in the microwave and like try to cook off excess moisture. Just to see what happens.
I really like the idea of tiny little gummy swords being forged, a la like every scene in like in a medieval or a fancy thing where they pour the molten metal into an open thing in a way that they would never do in real life. Mm-hmm. But with gum.
You hear the blacksmith ting ting ting.
But it would be.
Did you? Oh man, there was a I saw a really funny video on Twitter. It was a video of two Japanese guys working in like, I think they were working in like a mochi stand or something, and they had they just stood at this table, and there was like a big like wad of, I think it was mochi. It was some squishy green stuff. Some kind of confection, and the two of them just had these big wooden hammers, these big wooden mallets, and they just took turn like beating this like wad of some green shit, like one after the other, like doom, like taking turns, boom, 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 boom.
I've seen like references to like that technique in like the rabbit on the moon. You know how Japan sees a different side of the moon than America?
They don't see a different side. They just interpret the...
I guess. It's slightly different because of different... I don't know. But like they see a rabbit with a hammer.
The moon is in a locked orbit. Everyone sees the same side of the moon.
Well, why do I see a penis on the moon?
Because you're gay. I don't know.
But like the rabbit has a mallet, and the mallet is for squishing things. So I've seen like there's like more than one like video game or anime that like references a rabbit using a mallet to squish a squishy thing while another rabbit pushes it around.
That is...
I don't know. I've never known what they're building, they're creating, but that's I can picture it.
That's interesting. I hadn't heard that before.
It's like that bit at the beginning of Dragon Ball where
I'm trying to think of rabbits with hammers.
There's like when Goku, Kid Goku, he as a
my headphones fell out. I can't hear you.
Oh, you fuck.
Okay, now tell me.
Like in the beginning of Dragon Ball, there's a bit where Goku, there's these thugs and they've got like bunny ears on, and they're like, "Ha, we're so evil. We're gonna beat you up.
Beat you with hammers.
We're gonna beat you up." They just have like bunny ears on, and that's their thing. And then Goku easily beats them, and he, as a punishment, he gets his Nyobo, his extending stick, and he goes all the way up, pulls them up, puts them on the moon as punishment. And that's like, haha, it's just like that old fairy tale. It's just like the rabbit on the moon thing, huh, kids? It's me, Akira Toriyama, editor's note. And then Goku comes back down to Earth.
That is so fucking adorable.
Yes.
They never, oh my god, and then they died because Master Roshi blew up the moon at the tournament. Oh my god!
I never thought of that. They definitely be killed.
They definitely be killed. Think about that one. Yeah, they blew up the moon a bunch of times, so... Oops.
That moon is so annoyed by the end of Dragon Ball Z.
They have to wish it back with the Dragon Balls a few times, right? I've never watched all of I've only watched bits and pieces of old Dragon Ball. I mean, Dragon Ball Z. I remember,
too. Yeah, Piccolo destroys the moon that one time where he notices Gohan going insane. And he's like, "Wait a minute, it's the moon!"
Right,
goes back to normal.
Right, that's why, because of the what do you call the monkey form?
Big monkey.
No.
Super Saiyan 3.
No.
I don't know.
Whatever. When they turn into Big Monkey, they have to blow up the moon sometimes. That's right. Well, doesn't Master Roshi just do it like for no reason
Roshi
in the tournament?
Does it, yeah. In the tournament when
like
it's
just
Kid
a flex.
Goku,
yeah.
He does it because Goku is going big.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that then.
I think it's because like his tail is cut off at the very beginning when he goes monkey for the first time. You understand that he's a were-monkey. He sees the full moon. They can't destroy the moon because it's like what's it like that little brat guy and his two henchmen, the dog and the lady, Pilaf, that guy.
Yeah, Pilaf, the little goblin man or whatever.
Little goblin man. And then Goku goes big monkey, and then I think it's Oolong or Yamcha or someone who like cuts off the tail with a sword to save the day. And then randomly during the tournament, Goku's tail comes back during a full moon, and then he goes big monkey, and so Master Roshi destroys the moon instead. Which is a bit of a different way to solve that problem.
Wait,
and I think Kami-sama puts the moon back together.
Kami-sama is Piccolo? It's
the good half of the Great Demon King Piccolo. Yeah.
Right.
I think that's how it goes.
Why was Goku going beast mode if he had his tail cut off?
Because it grew back. They didn't know that happened. It's like, oh, my tail's back. This is great. And then, like he does the rest of the tournament, and he's like, I have my tail now. This is epic, and he uses that to his advantage. But then later, the moon comes out.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. That sounds familiar. I have seen that part. Like I would just catch Dragon Ball occasionally on, here and there. By the time it was like airing regular, I think by the time I got cable as a kid and Dragon Ball was airing regularly, it was already like in the it was Kid Buu. It was the Kid Buu saga. Not Kid Buu, just Majin Buu. Yeah. So like really late. I mean pretty late, yeah. But I watched it.
What's
because my friends watched it.
I'm remembering all like the Red Ribbon Army stuff. Dragon Ball is such a good manga.
Yeah.
So nice and so perfect, and they did it. They did it, and they did it.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it better than One Piece, though? Is anything better than One Piece?
You know, for where Dragon Ball ends up going, as a kid, I liked it more than One Piece, just because of it having more fun, even more than One Piece, and being like more badass more quickly. I don't know how to describe it. I think they're kind of equivalent. It's just that One Piece has like a longer lasting sort of sense of adventure, and Dragon Ball is like a fun adventure story that is just like great to go on. And then Dragon Ball Z comes around and it becomes a little more serious, a little more edgy, and a little less goofy and like adventure-y. People just teleport and appear at the next battle arena, and it's just like one after the other. It's still good, but
is that like an aging up with the audience kind of thing?
I guess so. I mean, the style definitely changes. It becomes much more about like personal drama between characters who want to fight, and less about a kid exploring the world with his magical stuff and flying cloud.
I wonder if it's like, it's, what do you call it? Shonen Jump executive smokes his big cigar. Toriyama, the kids was reading Dragon Ball. Well, now they grown up into edgy teenagers. They want to read seinen now. You gotta make your guys big buff guys. You can't be no little kids running around. You gotta have them be aliens, Toriyama. you gotta have alien genocide now. It's the only way. And he said yes. And he said yes, sir, Mr. Jump, sir, right away.
It never feels like it's betraying the like a Toriyama like style. It still feels like him the whole way through. It's just sort of like he's going like, well, they were kids and now they're adults, and now the stakes have to be higher each time. And how high do you go when the guy is trying to destroy the Earth? It's like you can't joke around. If that has to be taken seriously, it has to be kind of a scary guy, and he has to be kind of scary. And so it's like it just sort of naturally goes in that direction, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, when it starts, I remember seeing the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, and like it does still feel like the same characters. Like Goku still feels like Goku, and he's a goofy man.
Yeah, it's not like a bad like sequel or anything. I definitely like Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, there's something about the adventure feeling of Dragon Ball that I only really get from One Piece, and then like the Dragon Quest games and other things like that, which is sort of like a cute, funny, wholesome, epic quest. I like it.
Maybe I should read Dragon Ball at some point.
It's not that long, I say, looking at 15, 16, 21, 22 volumes, lol.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how many chapters is that? Because I've read 1,000 chapters of One Piece now.
Yeah, it's not as long as that, for sure. I don't actually know how many chapters. I own, like, the physical volumes, so I think of them in terms of that.
Speaking of infinite games, I didn't stream it. I beat Mega Man 8 2 days ago. I've played Mega Man's 1 through 8 now. And there's actually a lot more to go. I've only played I've at this point played like half the series. I've played Mega Man 1 through 8, and I've played X through X5. And what do I have a list here? I've got...
Oh wait, Dragon Ball is only 194 chapters.
That's like child's play.
That's like maybe a couple days of constant reading.
Yeah, that's not even... It's not even anything. It's trash. That's like, man, that's... I don't know how that makes me feel, to think that like something so influential and important is like, so, I mean, not small, but like...
It's definitely not small. I mean, if you think about how difficult it is to make a single chapter of any comic and then doing 194 of them.
Yeah.
That's a big ask. That's a big task.
But also, I mean, like you said, you can read it in a couple days. It would probably take you 20... I mean, how long does it take to read a chapter of manga? Like half an hour, less? So...
Yeah, less than half an hour, but...
So it's maybe like 20 hours of reading, which I guess is a lot. I get 20, 30... what am I talking about?
I mean, I think it's just one of those things, like, if you draw a picture, people can look at the picture for like 5 minutes, and it took you a lot longer than 5 minutes to make it. Yeah. It's like, well, dang, why would I ever draw anything? Well, because it looks cool, idiot.
Yeah. It reminds me of, what was it? Some show just came out on Netflix or something, and I heard people saying, like, yeah, the fact that they dropped it all at once in a big, like, bingeable block, like, killed it. Like, if it had come out weekly, it would have been, like, a part of the conversation, and people would have been talking about it. But because it came out all at once, everyone just watched it and was like, okay, it's done. And nobody talked about it.
That's definitely a thing.
Yeah. That probably has happened with many shows. There was a recent example, but whatever.
People like moving on to the next thing, and you know how like weird it is that Elden Ring is the biggest game ever, and I see nothing anymore. It had its heyday, and that was like, wow, it's done? People don't talk about Elden Ring anymore? I still haven't finished it.
I haven't even started it.
It's all gone.
Yeah.
The hype is dead. It's so crazy. I can't believe that you can art can exist outside of the public current hype culture. Like what?
Yeah. I don't. I mean, it's been out for a couple months now, and like that's long enough that everyone has like played it. Everyone who's played it that was gonna mostly, although. Noah Caldwell-Gervais did just drop an Elden... Well, it's not. It's an Elden Ring Bloodborne.
Yeah, I just finished watching
Sekiro.
it.
I watched it yesterday. It's good.
He's so true. He's so correct.
He's pretty right. Man, I don't even... Okay, I shouldn't even have an opinion because I haven't played any of those games. So I shouldn't just be like, oh man, this guy knows what he's talking about, because I don't fucking know. I just like videos.
His As he's coming from the Souls series as a casual player who isn't like perfect and doesn't like the whole get good thing, like me, he resonates very, very perfectly with like the way I feel about the games.
But you are good.
Only because they're fun and they are not as like Well, that's the thing he explained in the first video he did on Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, where he was hesitant to get into the games because of the reputation of them being so difficult, and you have to get really good. Yeah. He's like, well, I don't want to do that. That sounds hard. But then when he actually started playing them, he realized that the game doesn't want you to lose. It wants you to win. And it is actually very forgiving if you use the tools at your disposal to win the game. Yeah. It's just it's the atmosphere of like you have to do it single player, otherwise you're a loser, you're a scrub that sort of pushes people away.
It is nice to hear him push back against that and be like, he's not the only person who said it, but like it really is like, guys, they put summoning in the game so that you'd fucking use it if you want to.
Yeah.
It's like it really is like the people that say like no summoning, like if you summon to win, you've cheated the game and you've cheated yourself. Those people really are they're just going like against what the game says. They're just like denying the text of the fucking game. Yeah.
So the reason I'm like quote unquote good at Dark Souls is because it's not difficult. Because if I use the tools that that are in the game, I can do it.
Yeah, that's fair. I might have told this story, I'm sure I have, but I'm very stupid. The reason I did beat Dark Souls 1. I found it, fairly difficult, but like, I worked through it because I have a lot of patience for trial and error stuff. but I did it in a very stupid way. I did not experiment that much. I tried to stick really rigidly to one way of playing. I used the fucking stupid Drake sword for the whole game. Just because I thought it was cool. I was, I got a special drop from a dragon. Oh, it has a super wave attack. That sucks. Yeah, I'll use that. It's a cool sword. That's cooler than any of these other normal swords. So that really gimped me hard.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to player comfort, Dark Souls is a little more difficult just because if you don't know where you're putting your stats.
Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing. If you don't know
what you're doing, then you can't, respec at any point during the game. You have to make a new character.
I knew that I got a special dragon sword, and I knew that the only way that I wanted to use it because it was neat, and I knew that the only thing that could upgrade it is Drake scales. And so I was like, well, I guess I better try to get some Drake scales, and I upgraded it twice, and I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's
just, I mean, I feel
I mean, I did win.
Yeah. The game is not punishing. It's a little punishing in a few areas where if you are very strict with what type of damage you're putting out, the boss that you're fighting may be strong against that and it'll just take longer.
Yeah.
But there's no hard cap on what you're allowed, what is required of you, because people have completed the game with no weapons, just by punching. And it's anything is possible because of that. It's great.
Just like in real life, anything is possible. Actually, if you try hard enough, you can punch any problem away.
Yeah. Dark Souls is more forgiving than real life, because you just can't do that in real life.
Well, that's true without a shadow of a doubt.
You can't dodge roll through bad things happening.
Gib, you can't just dodge roll all your problems away.
Here's another bout of depression. Wait, frame perfect dodge roll coming up. I missed.
Taxes are due. Better take all my armor off and put on my Havel's ring. Yeah, video games. In real life, that would be silly.
Sure would. You ever think you've seen Mario in real life?
How does Zelda keep so many items in his little bag? Okay.
That would have been an interesting, an interesting game mechanic where things physically make your pack larger if you pick them up. And then it's a physics-based thing, like
in Breath of the Wild, you have a satchel on your back, and it gets huge and weighs you down. It
gets huge and makes you slow. What's the Hideo Kojima game where you're walking around?
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding. You get Death Stranding wobbling mechanics. Oh shit, my pack's so full.
That's a game
I shouldn't have picked up 100,000 mushrooms that I'm never gonna eat.
That's a game that looks cool, and I kind of wish I had played it. I guess I still could. Is it on Steam? I feel like everything's on Steam these days.
I think it must be. I know it's a console non-exclusive, so
game just looks neat. But I gotta play Mega Man and bass. I gotta play Mega Man and bass. So my schedule's booked for the foreseeable future. Man, I tried playing Mega Man Soccer. That game sucks. That game's
Mega Man Soccer?
Mega Man Soccer. It's a real game on the Super Nintendo.
Is there lore in it?
The lore is... I think the lore is just in the manual, and it's just hey, Wily's back, and he's got his robots back, and he's trying to win a soccer tournament this time, and you gotta stop him, because that's not fair. So you, Mega Man, also a robot, must join the soccer league and beat Wily's team for the sake of sportsmanship.
Lol.
It's great. It might be that I kind of don't really know how to play soccer. I know the rules of soccer. I don't know anything about the strategy of it, so maybe that's why I was failing. I couldn't score a single goal.
Soccer in video games is so impossible. It's because you need a sense of like, because when you're playing football normal, you get the ball, and then you have to think strategically about like where you're going to go with the ball, and you need your teammates to be on the same page as to where like you're expected to kick it to them or when. And if you get tackled, how do you...
Yeah.
It's like, it's hard to play the game when you're just one person. Playing the game as everybody, it's usually just like, oh, I press the button, I pass to this guy, oh, he got tackled instantly, it's gone. Ah, fuck it.
It's like, it's really disorienting. I don't know if all soccer games are like this, but like, I think the way it works is that like, at the start of the game, you pick your team like setup, like where your players are going to be on the field, and there's a couple different like default configurations, and then the ball enters play, and you like when a player is on screen, you gain control of them, and suddenly you're controlling that character. But if like the ball moves, then the screen moves with it, and suddenly like whatever character's on screen, like that's who you're controlling, and it's like and you don't choose. It's like automatically switching which characters you control, like in the middle of play, like and any character that isn't on screen, I think, just kind of any character that is on screen is like automatically like running towards the ball, and any character that isn't on screen is like standing at their default position, like waiting for the ball to come near them. And I don't know, having like characters switch between characters is like really disorienting. I had to keep trying to look at the mini-map to figure out like where on the field am I? Where are my teammates at? Like where should I be kicking the ball? Just very hard, and I couldn't do it. I scored like 1 goal in like the like 2 hours, maybe like an hour and a half or something. And it was too hard, and I didn't like it. And apparently there like is no ending. It's just like, so whatever.
Yeah, football is a lot more strategic, because the idea is the people, you put them in a formation, they are like in charge of that little pocket of the pitch, and like if there's a striker, their job is to try to get close to the goal and to do the shooting, and the rest of the team is there to back them up, to defend against attacks, to weave the ball through the defense of the enemy. It's like a strategy game.
Yeah.
And so, but when you're a kid and you're playing football, you get the ball, it goes in the goal, and you just, no matter where you are on the pitch, you just try to get the ball to the goal, and if you're quicker than the other kids, you do it.
Yeah.
And so, like, most football games don't have that feeling to it. They have, like, more strategy to it. And it's like, I just want to kick it. I just want to kick it as hard as I fucking can.
Yeah.
Which is why the Ape Escape 2 minigame, Monkey Football, is the best football game they ever made in the world. Because you catch monkeys in Ape Escape, and you use those monkeys on your team. And if you get, like, a rare monkey...
That rules.
If you get a rare monkey, like a cool ninja that's hard to catch, they have high stats in the football game. They have, like, high kick power, high speed.
Wait, who do you play against?
You play against, like, a various set of, like, computer AIs, or, like, a friend. You could have multiplayer matches.
Okay.
But the computers, like, there's, like, a league, and you go through the shitty teams and get into the harder teams. But your, like, monkeys that you catch in the game, if you get some good ones that have really good kick power, you put them on, like, the middle of the pitch, you get the ball, you hold down the kick button, so it's, like, maximum, like, power, and it just goes all the way, it hits the monkeys in the head, knocks them out, knocks out the goalie, and I just would do that. I would just get really strong kick power monkeys, and I would kick the ball into all of the enemy team, knocking them out, making their fatigue go down, so they would be really slow, and then I would just goal score for the next entire match. I would just it would be like 72-0, and I would just keep scoring, and the monkeys would dance about it after every goal. That's the best football game they ever made.
Well, Mega Man Soccer does let you do like trick shots. Like if you're Heat Man, you can do the trick shot that like sets your enemies on fire. You can set your own teammates on fire by accident too if you want, but you can only do it like twice per game, which is like not very many, and the game just goes on and on because nobody's fucking scoring.
Is it not on a timer?
No, it was just, I think it was like game 2, like a certain number of goals, which I never reached because I couldn't score that many. there's a YouTuber who's not too big, but like big, maybe 100K, called Kim Justice, and she makes videos about. A lot of her videos are about like older computers, specifically British computers, and like the British game scene in like the pre-NES era. And she talks about like shit like the ZX Spectrum that like didn't exist outside of the UK. But
I've heard of that. I don't know what it does, but I've heard of that name.
Well, there's oh fuck, I don't know. I've watched a bunch of videos about like hang on. You know what? I gotta find this and recommend this because it's really funny. Kim Justice. There was one. She made one like going over the career of some guy who made a like huge hit on the ZX Spectrum, and apparently he was like a rock star. He was like this famous rock star who like went into drugs and had like a rock star downward spiral because he was like such a big celebrity because he made this stupid little fucking platformer on this like pre-Atari like console. Hang on.
Rockstar?
That's how she describes it. The Commodore Amiga is another one. What was this fucking guy's name? Yeah, and like now he's like a burnout. Okay. Yeah. Oh my god. Here's the video is called From Manic Miner to Jet Set Willy: The Story and Games of Matthew Smith. Yeah, and Matthew Smith was this like 17-year-old savant who made fucking Jet Set Willy, which was like a cultural revolution on the ZX Spectrum. I love this video. I've watched it like 3 times. 78K subscribers, so medium, pretty medium. Anyway,
did you link it?
Oh, I should link it. There are other there's other good stuff. She has a big like history of Peter Molyneux, which is pretty interesting. Look at this guy,
Jet Set Willy.
Jet Set Willy, and there he is. It's this little fucking top hat man. Shout-outs to Kim Justice. I would never have known about the Commodore Amiga. But anyway, I just remember I think it was on one of those consoles. I don't remember exactly which one, but there's a game called Sensible Soccer. And it was like a huge hit. And I'm like, that's like the most British thing I've ever heard of. It's just called it was like kind of revolutionary, I guess, in that it was like so much more like realistically portrayed like translated the rules of soccer into like a game. It was like the first soccer game that actually felt like soccer, but it's just called Sensible Soccer. It's like, yes. A very sober and reasonable gaming experience that I'm having.
I love reasonable gaming experiences.
I would love to just have I'd like to play soccer, but like unlike all these other like fly by night, party boy developers, I would like my soccer game to be sensible, please. Just keep me grounded. And they did, and apparently it was a big hit. So I don't know. How did I even get on this? Soccer games, Sensible Soccer, Mega Man.
Yeah.
That's it. I have no like notes this week. Nothing happened to me this week. I'm just rambling. I can't believe a whole week. I can't believe a whole week has passed since last Sunday.
It don't really feel like anything happened.
No, nothing at all. It's one of those weeks that I feel like I just blinked and it was gone.
Yep. Same.
Yeah. Tomorrow is been.
Oh yeah.
I was just gonna say tomorrow is America Day. It's July 24th.
You mean the 4th?
Yeah. Why did I say the 24th? Yeah, it's July 4th. I don't know. It's July 4th. I don't super feel like celebrating America at the moment, but like, I mean, whatever, I guess.
Boo America.
Boo. Yeah, exactly.
May the 4th is funnier because of the Star Wars joke that every dad makes.
Peter. Peter, it's Star Wars, Peter. You love Star Wars.
That's exactly what she says.
She says that. That's her line. That's what I know Lois for. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's all. I have nothing else to say about the fact that it's July 4th tomorrow. I don't care. Maybe I'll do something. Probably not.
Make a little upside down American flag post saying, July 4th? More like die 4th. And then it would make that much sense.
Absolutely.
I have, the past few days, had like a weird itch. A mental itch, not a physical itch. This is a world-building itch. I've been playing Oblivion, the Elder Scrolls, and, just for no real reason, playing it without fast travel. So if I need to go from one side of the map to the other, I need to buy a horse or get a horse and just travel along the roads or, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's a longer journey. Feels more like I get a sense of, like a real sense of like a gratefulness that these settlements exist, because like on the road there's like bandits all the time, there's like trolls and imps shooting things at me, and I'm like, fuck, my horse is gonna die. I don't want that. I gotta get to a refuge. I gotta get to an inn and stay inside and be protected. And so it's just nice. And I'm just sort of looking at all these quests and these names and these like places, and I'm like, fuck. The Elder Scrolls is such a rich world with all these things that they made up and came up with, the Daedra and the fucking books that you can read. I want to do that. It's my time to do that. It's what I want to do. And now I'm thinking about world building all the time. I want to world build. And I don't really know how to do it because it's such a big task. Well, every time I come up to something like this, it's like, oh, that's so cool. I want to be the one who have done that.
I know. Yeah. It's like,
so right now I'm thinking, how do I make the fucking Cyrodiil? How do I make Oblivion? But I did it.
Isn't it sort of tempting when you see something like that and it's something that you like? Isn't it sort of tempting to think like, well, I could have thought of that. Like, if only I hadn't, like, seen them do it first. Like, I probably would have thought of that myself, actually. It's kind of like my idea. You ever had that feeling?
For some things, I guess so. It's really just that I can see how people would come to come up with these things, like where the inspiration came from. If I looked into history and like ancient theology and like things that have been like words, etymologies of words and like stuff like that, stories from the past, I use that as a base for stories of the future. And that's basically what all these things do, is they take like tropes and ways of naming things that real people did, but use funny elf words instead that they made up. And it's like, yeah, I could have come up with that. I mean, Oblivion Gates, I mean, that's cool. It's like a land of fire, and they've got like a different kingdom. It's like the kingdom on the other side of the portal. Like, that's not so strange. No. Everybody's made a story like that.
That sounds pretty reasonable, yeah. That's what I would expect to be on the other side of an Oblivion portal, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I do feel like that a lot of what I would make is just completely copied from something else. I'm like, oh wait, no, I'm making a Homestuck thing here. This is a Homestuck thing, and this is an Oblivion thing. Oh, and this is a Princess Mononoke thing. I'm just copying. Ah, fuck. Ah, shit. I don't have a single good idea.
I mean,
so it's hard to do.
I guess. You kind of gotta, great artists steal and all that.
Yeah. I gotta not worry about that too much.
There definitely is some point at which it's like, okay, now you're just taking everything from such and such, but like, you're probably not actually there. You probably feel like you're there way earlier than you're actually there, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I felt that a little bit about Belljape, because it was like,
Oh yeah, Belljape
and
is exactly like everything. I don't
no,
know.
no, like, I mean,
Yeah.
what happens in it is unique enough, but
Oh,
the method
like
by
jailbreak?
which I was doing Belljape was like, I just want to have Microsoft Paint Adventures,
They
but
they
I
give
did
you
it
there?
instead. So I had a website called APSA, Adobe Photoshop Adventures, and I made a comic reminiscent of Jailbreak and Homestuck and Problem Sleuth and stuff. And I'm like, haha, I did it though. And it did turn into something that was a little different, but still having the S like Flash, but and all that, the GIFs, it's so obviously like a Homestuck fan thing that it sort of felt like, ah shit, I gotta start being different. I gotta start being more unique. And I guess that's why I started drawing the Lord of Ghosts comic. So I want to have like a real comic that you could print on a piece of paper. I want to have stuff that I can do that's not exactly the same as something else. Ben? You there?
Hey, I'm back.
Oh, you're back.
I don't know why that just happened. My internet just went out for like a minute, and now it's back, I guess.
Well, I said my bit. The viewers at home know exactly what I said.
I'll just have to wonder. I'll never know.
You know, one thing about world building that I was wondering.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking into like the world, like Tamriel is the world of the Elder Scrolls,
Yeah.
and like the people. I just sort of thought, why do people know what the planet is? Like, did people in medieval times have a concept of the world being like a singular place that could have a name? Or would they only think of their immediate area, their own name, their country, the kingdom that they're being like lorded over with? Like, do they have a name for like the earth? And I guess they did, but it was literal like earth, like soil, like landmass.
I mean, people. I mean, what do they? The Greeks knew that the Earth was a sphere.
Did they?
Yeah. I mean, maybe not all of them did, but some Greek.
They had gods that were like.
Was it
All right,
Zeno?
I
don't know.
I was looking into it a little bit. I didn't get very far in my because I literally thought of this just before we started recording. It's like, what do they? What do they like? Would they have a name for the world? Like people in medieval England,
I think
would they have a concept of like, oh, the Earth, the planet, or the world, or
here's
something like that? Would they
here's
have
what-
a name for it?
if they just lived on the British Isle and they didn't know that there was anything like across, is it the Caspian? No, what's the channel? Is it the English Channel that goes
It's the
between
English
England
Channel
Yeah.
and the North Sea.
If they didn't know there was anything beyond the sea, they would probably just think that, that island is the world and they would be one and the same. But then as soon as they
so.
figured out there's an even bigger landmass across the channel, they'd be like, okay, there's actually this is a world and our little island is just part of it. And who knows what the fuck else is out there.
I mean, you can see France from the coast of England.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Lol. Okay.
But I feel like people would know countries. They would hear tales of people going on treks and coming back and telling the stories and stuff. People wouldn't know literally what the Earth looks like, but like,
yeah,
would they have a name for like divorced from country, from kingdom, a name for the land? It seems like an odd thing that only exists in fantasy novels.
I'm gonna say they probably would, because like they would know that like, oh yeah, the land just kind of extends, east like for who knows how long. So you can't really talk about just like a landmass, because like it doesn't really have like an end that you even know of. So
I guess, but like, I mean, you would say the land, you would say the sea, the ocean, and then you would say the land, which is like rocks and soil and dirt that you can stand on. And those are like the two things that make up most of what you understand. And you wouldn't say like you wouldn't call the sea a name other than the sea. It's just like a descriptive word.
Yeah.
And so you wouldn't call the earth
like you don't call it you don't call it.
It doesn't have a proper name.
I understand.
Like this is the world of Tamriel. This is the world of Azeroth. Like why are these names? They would have countries, they would have factions, and they would have like landmarks.
They would just call it the world, because like what's the point of giving it a name to distinguish it from some other? Like we call Earth the Earth because we know that there are 9 planets.
Yeah, and Earth is like derived from words that mean soil and dirt and like ground, as opposed to the ocean, which is the other thing.
Yeah, you're probably
and
right.
they're like gods of terra. The Romans had Terra, and the Greeks had Gaia, and they were like gods and goddesses of like the earth, but the earth meaning land, and like very explicitly just land, not like a metaphorical sense of like the world that we understand. Like a human world right now is like the observable universe. It's like our world that we understand is that.
Yeah, calling it something like Tamriel or Azeroth is like a little bit, might be a little bit like, you know, for the player to distinguish it from the real world. May I don't know. I wonder if maybe some cultures did have like, oh yeah, our world is called such and such, and maybe if they believed in, I mean, maybe if they believed in an afterlife or like a spirit world or something, they would call the real world one name, and they'd have another world or another name for that other world that they believed in. Perhaps I could see that.
All right, I may have misread this. I was quickly Googling on Wikipedia, but I did read. Some Midgard was like an old English term for the concept of world in that same way, where like this is what we understand as like a place that we know the edges of.
Yeah.
And Midgard or Gerd was that, and that was like what Tolkien used to create Middle Earth as the term for that.
Yeah.
And also Midgar.
Is that like
because of the Norse mythology?
Is that like to distinguish it from like, you know, Asgard and Jotunheim and Hell and stuff?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
so I guess if you believe
if you believe there are other worlds, then it might benefit you to give this one a name to distinguish it.
So I guess, you know, now that I think about it, we call Earth Earth. It is a proper noun, because it's like, oh, it's earth and hell and heaven and everything.
Yeah.
And we use it to describe the world. And I guess for these fantasy worlds, Azeroth and Tamriel are like equivalent words that mean dirt, but sound like more names than we would be used to, because we're used to earth, and that doesn't seem like a proper noun, even though it functionally is the same thing. All that to say is that I don't know what to call my world. I don't know what to call it, and I don't know what to do.
Just call it. Have you considered calling it space?
But what if there's space?
Just call it. I'm just trying to think of something. What can we rip off?
Like, hot doglio.
Sure. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Barrel of laughs. Just some stupid phrase.
How about you call it
Popstar.
I've got it. Call it the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Popstar. Wait, Popstar's just one.
Popstar's a little planet.
Yeah,
right?
just set your world in the Kirby universe.
Yeah.
And then
Kirby has all these different planets.
And then one day, for no particular reason, fucking what's the giant like machine that grants wishes?
Marvin the Martian. I know what you mean. It's the giant clockwork cat face.
Yes. Then one day, for no particular reason, totally divorced from whatever else is happening in your stories, just fucking giant clockwork cat face just like swoops by and like smashes the planet into smithereens, and like that's the end.
Yeah, I have my whole story. There's like the countries of Popstar. And like all the like Game of Thrones, but on Popstar with all my characters, and then it gets destroyed, and then Kirby's there at the end. It's like it leads into the Kirby #1.
It was all a prequel to Kirby. Is Popstar the one that's like frozen and it's like post-apocalyptic Earth?
I thought Popstar was literally a star-shaped planet, like a yellow 5-pointed star that Kirby lives on or goes to.
Yeah,
Maybe
I think that might...
quick.
Yes, it is. It's the first level in Kirby 64. Crystal shards, distinguished by its forest and grasslands. Yeah,
I type in Popstar into Google and it gives me pop stars as in music. I didn't even think of that.
I typed in Kirby, so I was safe from that.
Yeah, it's the star with the 2 rings.
What's the one that's just Earth? What's the one that's just post-apocalyptic frozen Earth, though?
How would Kirby say Earth?
He would call it Azeroth because he's a big gamer. I'm Shiverstar.
Oh, because it's frozen. Yeah.
You know the one. Like you can see like North America and the continents and stuff.
Is that a newish? No, it's a.
That's from
Kirby 64. Yeah, I remember this level. I didn't think, but yeah, I can see the.
It's very intentional. Yeah. And I think they elaborate on it in Forgotten Land. I think you go to Shiverstar in Forgotten Land.
So in the Nintendo cinematic universe, Kirby 64 happens after any game that takes place on Earth?
I guess so, yeah. I don't know.
Is there even a single actual Nintendo game franchise that has Earth as a place? Or are they all fantastical versions of things?
Splatoon.
Oh, so Splatoon is like a prequel to Kirby?
I want to think that that's true, because I hope that the Inklings become real. I hope that the Inklings take over, because I love them.
And then they get frozen and die?
Sure. But, for a shining moment in history, they would burn brightly and revel in their murder frenzy. World building is bad. Don't do it. You know what?
No, I want to build.
You shouldn't world build, because you know what? Any world you build is just going to freeze over and die one day.
Nah, but you can build over that too. You can build over everything. I can have, Steven Universe has that giant hole cut out of the earth. That's world building.
So does
what happened?
So does Adventure Time.
Yeah, maybe that was Adventure Time I was thinking of. Wasn't there like a bit in Steven Universe where they go on the moon and there's a map of Earth, or you can see Earth, and there's just like a huge part of like the top of Russia is just missing?
Yes.
Epic.
It's fucking Third Impact. Third Impact happened.
Dude, what if Shinji met Steven Universe?
Oh, they both cry. They're both big pussies that cry all the time.
They'd be best friends.
They probably would be best friends, honestly.
And then Steven would go up and kiss the Avas. Oh, no, not the Avas. The Angels, what are they called?
They genuine... Oh, the Crystal Gems.
No, Steven would kiss the enemies from Ava.
Yeah, the Angels.
Yeah.
They genuinely both have the same problem. They both, like... Wait a minute. They both have, like... use their mom's power to like fight against like aliens, and they both are like really fucked up about it. So yeah, I mean, I see no problems here.
Yeah, maybe it's like a direct inspiration.
Honestly, yeah, seems like it. It's actually
instead of big robots,
it's actually quite analogous now that I think about it.
It's a pink shield and a lion.
Yeah, instead of him being in a giant robot that has his mom's brain in it, he is a giant robot that has his mom's soul jewel in him. So it's kind of like like reverse.
Like she's like piloting him.
Yes. Which is,
and he has to grapple with that. It's like, I don't want to be the robot. I don't want to be the robot anymore. I didn't ask to be the robot.
Be the robot, Shinji. Get your mom in you, Shinji. Get
jeez, I don't know about this. I think this joke has happened. Like there's a deja vu. This is a joke from like PCP episode 3 or something.
There's no way we would have ever made a joke before on any of our like 700 fucking episodes. One day there will be more episodes of the PCP than there are chapters of One Piece, and then who will have the last laugh?
How the hell would that happen? The One Piece chapters come out weekly, and so do the PCP.
Not episodes. Not forever. Oda won't live forever.
And we will. Oh no. How many? Like, there's more than 1,000 chapters, and the One Piece has gone past its 25th anniversary. I don't want to have the 25th anniversary of the Pro Crastinators podcast. That would be terrible. That would be life-ending.
Well, I'm sorry. There's no other way. I'm sorry, he's gonna have to do it. You're gonna have to do it. Or, I mean, what's the alternative? You just die?
I guess not.
Yeah.
Guess I'll live.
Yeah. You're stuck. This is the only thing. As long as you live, there must always be a podcast.
It's like the World of Warcraft when the Lich King got killed, and the Bolvar 4 dragon put on the helmet, and he's like, there must always be a Lich King for some reason. Really, there's no reason. We just wanted to say that was very badass in the writers' room. We thought that was very badass. It doesn't make any sense, but I am the Lich King now.
It doesn't make any sense. Was there a previous Lich King that like passed on the crown?
The Lich King, the crown, I think it's the sword, Frostmourne, housed like the undead ghost of Ner'zhul, a warlock orc from another planet, and he's like evil, and he corrupted Arthas into doing the bidding of the Burning Legion by doing undead magic and raising the dead and all that.
Sure.
And so initially they were Burning Legion associates, and then I can't remember really what happened. I think they broke off and they became their own thing. Like, Arthas was like, fuck you, Burning Legion, I'm in control, I'm evil, and I'm gonna kill everyone my way. And then they kill the Lich King in the game, and then
didn't work out.
I guess I don't know. I guess they just defeated the Lich King, and there's no Lich King. Well, they defeat him, except and there has to be.
And then he couldn't do those things. Yeah, I feel like when they beat the Lich King, there just wasn't any more Lich King.
But some guy put on the hat, and now he's the Lich King, and he doesn't do anything until one cutscene later in another expansion, where Sylvanas Windrunner goes evil, and she breaks open the Lich King's helmet, and it tears open like the afterlife, and then everyone goes into the afterlife, and everyone's dead and alive at the same time.
Wasn't Sylvanas already
it's so
evil?
Strange.
Wasn't Sylvanas already evil in like Burning Crusade?
Sylvanas was evil from the very beginning. I mean, not really. She was an elf, right?
Yeah.
Arthas was taking over the Night Elf place. Sylvanas was like one of the sisters, like, you will not take my land. Arthas says, yes, I will. And then you play the level and you kill her. You turn her into a banshee, and she's like a slave to Arthas, and she's like, fuck, okay, I'll do your bidding, God. And then she's like doing his bidding. And then at some point she manages or is helped by someone to like wrest control away from Arthas, and she becomes her own person. And she is so angry at Arthas that she uses her powers of the undead to raise or like to to corral her own faction of the undead as the Forsaken, who then join the Horde in an alliance of strength so that they can, they can kill the Lich King, and that's her whole goal. And she helps with that, and they go in the Wrath of the Lich King expansion, they kill him, and then she is just sort of a faction in the Horde, and she's always seemed kind of sus.
Mm-hmm.
But it's mostly other people in her faction who are sus, and they want to extinguish life. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I don't want this. I'm not evil. I'm not like Arthas. And so she becomes more trustworthy. At some point, she becomes the war chief because Vol'jin dies, and he trusts her based on all the adventures they've had together. And then she becomes the war chief, and it was the most hype moment ever, because it's like, whoa, finally Sylvanas is getting recognition. She's not evil. Her undeath does not define her. She's not exactly as everyone thought. And then one expansion later, oh, she is evil actually. She's just they changed her, and now she's like a one note, I'm evil and I just hate everybody.
Relatable,
and it sucks. It sucks so bad. I hated it.
It's a classic story for a reason. We can get behind it.
It's not classic. It's stupid. World of Warcraft is a stupid story, and I can't stop playing it.
Man, I hate video games. Man, I hate fiction. Man, I hate... Is this world not enough for you? You have to go and invent some new ones? Pathetic.
Why would I want to learn about things that already exist? Why would I want to do that?
Listen, I just want to play soccer, but I just want it to be sensible, all right? None of this fancy fantasy nonsense. No, stop putting robot masters that can shoot flaming, paralyzing kicks down the pitch in my games. I just want to shoot the goal in the hoop.
I'll make my world called Sensible World. And it will not have magic in it. It'll have science only.
Yes. Thank you. That's a great relief. A great relief to me.
You see, Punk is she's animated. She comes back to life because that's just how it works, okay? That's just the physics of the world.
Are you telling me...
Pumpkins can live and have fire in their brain,
mm-hmm.
and that's just how it is. It's not weird. It's sensible.
Are you telling me that if you put a candle inside a pumpkin, you can illuminate it from the inside?
Yeah.
What were they smoking when they came up with that one?
They were smoking wax candles, Ben.
True.
It wasn't very tasty.
True, though. I realized something. I was struggling with the decision about whether I wanted to invest in a new camera. And it would be I was like, okay, do I buy a new camera or do I try to make do with my smartphone camera? Smartphone camera, it's not amazing, but it does record in high enough definition that it's okay. But the problem was that with the autofocus, if you try to film something, I did not find any way to turn off the autofocus. So if you're filming something that's moving, the thing is autofocusing over and over again, and it's bad. But I guess you can use third-party camera apps. You don't have to use the native camera app. You can download third-party apps that give you more manual control over your camera. So I might be able to record video without the autofocus ruining everything with my smartphone. And if so, it's probably going to tip the scales, and I'm probably just going to use my smartphone. I have a stand for it now. It's a cheap stand. I might try to get a more of a slightly fancy stabilizer stand. I don't know how those work, but I could probably find a better one than just a stick that holds it.
It's odd that that your app just doesn't let you not the autofocus.
I mean,
that's
maybe I missed something, but I could not find any way to do it. And I looked up reviews of the phone because some people make like reviews of every camera and every phone, I could find no moth. Fuck. I could find no mention of anyone like adjusting the autofocus. I like specifically Googled for like turn off autofocus, and I found people like saying where the option is, but not for my phone. Like I found people saying how to do it on like certain iPhones and certain other Android phones, but not this one. And so I'm like, I don't know. I think maybe the app just doesn't have the option. So, but it's okay because I think I can probably get some other apps that presumably will let me do that, which would be nice because like if I was going to invest in a real camera, it wouldn't be worth doing unless I spent like probably like at least like $250, which is like I don't want to do that. I don't want to spend $250 if I don't have to. So maybe I don't have. So maybe I don't have to. And that's nice. And that's it.
That's it.
That's
I
all.
don't have.
That's
I
all
don't think I have anything else.
I don't have anything else.
Oh wait, maybe someone in the audience knows a bit about plants. But I have a house plant. I got it for my birthday.
Oh yeah.
It's a Guzmania, Guz mania, bromeliad. And it's like it's a cool looking sort of jungly plant, house plant.
Oh, I'm looking at it. Yeah.
Looks
pretty cool.
I've never had a house plant. I want to do it right. I looked up a lot of like videos on how to treat for Guzmania bromeliad, and they had advice, and I've tried to follow it. I don't think I'm doing it right, and I feel like I am going to kill it accidentally. Help! Help!
I can't help you with that one.
It's just it's a little scary. Not scary. It's just sort of, I don't really have like instant feedback like you do with a dog or a cat about how they're feeling. I just wake up one day and I notice the leaves are looking a little something or other, like they're a little curled up. So like, does that mean it's lacking water? The tutorials, the advice guides and things, they're all saying like, don't water it too much, but make sure to water it.
Yeah.
And like every 2 days during summer, keep it in bright light but not direct sunlight. So keep it outside of the like range of the sun coming through the window, but make sure it gets plenty of light. And I'm like, is this enough light? I put it sort of far enough away that it never gets hit.
How do you know how much is too much?
And so I'm just sort of looking at it, and slowly it's sort of looking worse. And I don't know exactly what the problem is. I don't know if it's too wet or what. So I am just sort of hoping that I didn't kill it already.
So it's inside, right?
It's an inside. It's in my room.
It's in your
room. To make the room greener with greenery.
True. So it's, I mean, I don't know, maybe is it like near the window?
It's near-ish. I mean, the window's big. And I just have it out of range from when the sun is like coming straight in. It doesn't get blasted by it. But I mean, the walls are white, and I feel like it's getting enough light. Like if you were to put it outside, you would put it in a shaded area, because it sort of lives in like a jungle, so it's like used to like bigger trees covering it from the majority of light. So I feel like the light level is alright. I'm just worried about like the water amount, or whether the soil is shit. And that's
might have to, like,
my story.
You might have to, like, I don't know, give it some fertilizer or something. Honestly, I have no idea. I've never had a house plant.
Yeah. Like I wanted to. I didn't specify. Like I asked for one. I didn't specify what kind. This seems like it. People keep saying, "Oh, it's a very easy house plant. You don't need to, worry too much about it." But I'm worrying. It's a life. I don't want to be responsible for a death on the property. Think of the neighbors. Oh, think of my reputation.
That reminds me, I've mentioned at my old house, one of my roommates had a plant. Oh God, what was it called? I'm blanking on what the name was. It was like a sort of variant of like a citrus tree, and it was in a pot, and it stayed inside most. I mean, he kept it on the porch in like the summer, and he would take it inside during the winter, and it was a nice tree, and it fruited a little bit. They didn't become like edible or anything. But 1 year it bloomed. It had flowers. It was like, a kind of high tree. It was maybe like 6 feet tall. It had like a nice foliage on top. It flowered. It smelled incredible. It smelled great. And then the next year, I think he accidentally left it out on the porch a little too late. And then like it got cold like before he expected. And that like cold snap, like it didn't kill the tree, but it like devastated it. Like all its leaves fell off. He pretty much had to cut the entire tree off and leave just a little like stick sticking out of the pot, from which like one little branch kind of started to grow eventually, and like it grew a couple of leaves, so it's like technically still alive and maybe it could recover, although seems like it would take a while. So I wonder how that plant's doing. I wonder if he still got it. Citronella? I don't remember. Fuck, what was the big fucking fruit called? I don't know.
A lime. Pomegranate.
No, it had a nickname. It was called like something limes, or it was called like blood limes, or like scarlet limes. Scarlet limes. Yes. Scarlet limes. Okay, I'm not finding anything. It doesn't matter. Some kind of kumquat or whatever.
Anyway, if I have like a devastating update or a good news update, I will update people on the bromeliad situation.
Bro.
That's my new corner. That's my new like ongoing arc. You gotta keep tuning in to the Pro Crastinators podcast to get the latest scoop on the bromeliad situation.
I've got gummies, and you've got the bromeliad. Delightful. I'll mention again. Yeah. I'm waiting on Nate to do this for me. I need Nate to log in to the Kickstarter because I think I have a couple of packages here that need to go out to Kickstarter backers. That I found them in my P.O. box. Road to Radcon books, for instance. And I think I just need it won't let me do it because Nate is the one that made the Kickstarter account. So like they ask me to show ID, but I can't do it. They need Nate to show his like driver's license before they'll let me access the old records and look at people's addresses. And like I think I want to message some people and just ask them like, hey, is this still your address? Because it has been like 2 years. And it may have a couple of them are people who were living in like New Zealand, and so their address and like COVID meant that I couldn't mail anything to like Australia and New Zealand for some reason. So I don't know. I could just send them, but I sort of want to ask these people. Like I just want to double check. Like, is this still your address? It's been a long time. I feel like there's a pretty high chance that if I just sent them, they wouldn't arrive at the people. So I just want to like check on that before I send those out. So I'm waiting to do that. So I might be messaging.
You're waiting on Nate though.
Yeah. Well, I know. He told me again today, like, oh yeah, I'll get right to that. Like, message me later. I'll do it. It's like, yeah, you always say that. You always say that, and then maybe like after like 5 times, you actually do it. But I'm working on it. Kaiju had started. Kaiju was drawing the Dojin. Did I mention that? Like, he actually showed me some progress that he was making on it.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't know how much of it he did, but I haven't heard from him in maybe like 2 weeks. But he definitely was working on it. I I don't know. I think I would, when that gets done, my hope was that we could release the Dojin at the same time as the OVA, and then it would be all come out at once, and then that would be the last thing, and then the Radcon curse would be lifted. But
Yeah.
but
I mean, whatever comes out, just immediately. I feel like there's no reason to like wait if something is finished
yeah,
at this point.
yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. But I had hoped that Nate would, because the plan was for Nate to, edit the OVA together, and he did edit the music video together. Although, Victor was in the comments being like, "Why did this take so long? Like, I basically did all of this, like at the place." So I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that. I don't know. I haven't really talked to him about it, but I think I'm gonna ask him, like, Nate, I know it took me like months of asking you, like how is the music video going for you to get it done? Like, the OVA will be that, but worse. Like, maybe we should just hire someone. Maybe some editors. Maybe we should just hire one of your editors to do it and pay them to do it, because like I don't think you're actually gonna do it. You're gonna tell me you're gonna do it for months, and maybe yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna suggest that to him, and that will be better. I don't know why Nate insists on pretending that he's gonna do things. If you're not gonna do it, just tell me you're not gonna do it. I guess that's not fair. He did eventually make the music video. He did eventually finish that and release it, so it's not that he's never gonna do it. Don't understand why he'll be like, "Oh yeah, this Wednesday, I'll have it done this Wednesday." Oh, Wednesday's over? Okay, definitely next Wednesday. I will. It's not even me. It's not even me that suggested. It's just him, of his own volition, is like, I'm gonna set a deadline for myself. Next Wednesday, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, it's over?
It seems like he does that.
Yeah.
Like, he likes doing
but then
that,
he just
like
ignores. But then he just
but
ignores
it doesn't work.
He just ignores it, and like, what's the point?
I understand that like a deadline can be motivating to get things done.
Yeah,
if consistently doesn't result in anything
if you
getting
don't
done.
just ignore it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I truly do not understand. But whatever, I'm gonna try and work around that. Let's just fucking hire someone. Let's just hire someone who get it done in a week. I think. Maybe Kaiju would do it. Kaiju's an editor.
Oh my god.
I mean, if he wants to work.
No, yeah, I mean, I'm sure he would be okay to do it. It's just sort of, he's already doing the Dojin, and he's got his own job. It's like, I feel like it would just continually conflict with his own, like, work that he's got.
Yeah, well, I mean, he said he was starting to draw the Dojin because he had some downtime from the other editing work he had to do. That's what he told me, anyway.
The thing is that I've Kaiju's told me that editing is like a real pain. It's
Sure.
good money, but like he hates it. I don't really want to put an OVA on him.
Oh, well, I mean, it wouldn't have to be him. I mean,
No.
no.
As a spitball suggestion's fine.
I mean, maybe I'd ask him if he wanted to. Unless Nate had someone else that he thought would be like a better fit for like the project. I don't know. Nate would probably know. Nate knows more about editing than I do. He knows like what would be required for that. I think he's got like a plan. He has a plan for like how he wanted to assemble it. So maybe he would have someone in mind who would like do it the way he was intending it to be done. Huh?
Fucking Radcon.
Yeah, fucking Radcon. I'm gonna beat it. I'm going to defeat Radcon. I'm committed now to just being able to say it all got done.
That is something I would love to be able to say as well, even though I'm not really doing anything to help.
Yeah, well, I mean, you did all the things you were obligated to do.
Yeah. But then you've picked up the slack of every other thing that people did not do.
Yeah, there were things left. All the things that were left is like, well, I mean, well, who's gonna do the? I mean, yeah, I've basically been the guy who's been like, okay, well, how are we gonna do the Dojin? Okay, well, I guess I'll reach out to these people and get that done. Yeah, I've been doing like all the stuff that like nobody else kind of knew how it was gonna get done. It's fine, you know. It's a little. I mean, it's mostly just a lot of waiting. Like I've had to talk to people. Like I had to get Mishi to draw the cover. I had to finish writing the Road to Radcon. I had to. I guess it actually was a bit of a project to like go to the printer and get like collude with the printer and get that whole thing set up to get the books printed, etc., etc. But it wasn't that bad. It's mostly waiting has been the majority of it. It's been some work, but I don't mind. Yeah.
I mean, originally I was gonna edit the OVA, but like...
Oh, were you?
Yeah, very originally. But like Nate offered like to do it because he wanted, I don't know, he had like a vision, and I was like, thank God, because I don't want to have this hanging over my head, and I gave it over to him.
Yeah, I would...
I don't know, by this point, I feel like I would have been able to do it. It would have annoyed me a lot, having that hanging over my head.
Yeah, it wouldn't... I mean, there's no reason for it to have taken 2 years, other than you just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So let's just look that in the face and be like, okay, we have all this Radcon money left over. It still has not been spent. Let's just spend some of it to get it done. Like, who cares? Although, I mean, I guess T-BAP Resurrection did take a year to come out after Radcon 3, Lamau. Which is, I mean, is also stupid.
It is just the way of things. We are the procrastinators. We
That's
don't
true.
do things in a timely fashion.
That's true. I mean...
I had this dream. Well, it's not a dream, but just sort of a funny thought that, like, later, when we grow up a bit and we get better at our crafts and we speed up, we get stronger.
Yeah.
We can make these videos and comics and things faster. We'd stop being the procrastinators. We'd become the professionals. We'd be raking it in. And then we'd call the professional podcast. It never happened.
Yeah. I'll never get stronger. I'm as good as I'll ever be. There's no more. There's nothing more to aspire to.
No, Ben, think about gummies and lifting. What if you could lift gummies?
I could. What?
Whoa,
what?
wait a minute.
What?
Protein gummies.
Oh, the proteins. We could be the proteins. Protein gummies that'd be gross. That'd be disgusting. You'd have to eat so many of them. Jesus Christ. Now, you know what would be funny? Caffeinated gummies. I could make caffeinated gummies, and that wouldn't even be hard. It'd be easy, in fact.
Yeah,
that would be cool. Maybe
instead of having a drink to start the day, you have a gummy.
Yeah, why not? You know, I think I would be. I think I have become. I mean, since starting Slime and Punishment, I think I am a faster artist than I was before. I think I am faster, more efficient, better. Now, however, I have nothing that I want to do with it. I have nothing that I want to draw. I have no comics that I'm working on, so it's just a waste. Just a waste of a skill that I've gained.
I must say, thank you very much for that birthday image you drew for me.
Yes, my pleasure.
That was really cool.
Thanks.
I really liked it.
I thought it came out pretty well. I was pretty happy with it. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, it's got everybody.
I mean, yeah, it's got flower head.
The Flowerhead.
my boy.
Nobody draws Flowerhead.
Nobody draws Flowerhead. Nobody draws Katie. Forgot.
That's true.
Another dark member of the Gibbonverse.
And the Lord of Ghosts with the little sparklers.
Yeah.
Really cute.
Thanks. I had to go and look at some Lord of Ghosts pages to figure out exactly how big Lord of Ghosts is, and I decided he is about as big as like a person's torso, more or less. I would say that. You got the I thought he was smaller.
Proportions quite well.
Yeah, I think so. I had kind of imagined that he was about the size of the plush, like less than a foot tall. But no, he's a little bigger than that. Like when he's sitting on the couch in or on the sofa seat in Flowerhead's house, like he does take up like most of the cushion.
Yeah, he could fill a beanbag chair.
Yeah. So that was interesting. I was a little unsure how big to make Redman, because he seems to vary in size quite a bit. I know that the big is like 9 feet tall.
Yes.
Big is 9 feet tall. Katie seems like she's fairly tall, and Flowerhead seems somewhat tall as well. So I made Katie and Flowerhead about the same size. I think I made Redman about there. I think I should have made him maybe a little bigger than them. And then I don't know. I assumed that they were maybe like 6 feet, and then I made Katie.
Yeah, Gun Girl is like 5 foot something. 5'5" or something like that.
I think
Flowerhead, Katie are taller.
I think,
but they're not like absurdly tall. And Redman is he's a big boy.
Okay, well if they're, I mean, in compared to them, I mean, then she's maybe like half. Maybe I made her a bit small. I don't know. Well, wait. Well, now I'm curious. How big did I make them relative to each other? She comes up to about chest height. Yeah, it's fine. It's great. It's good.
I'm trying to scroll to where it was. Here it is. Yeah, her legs are like out.
Yeah, she would like, be a little taller if she was standing straight up.
That's about right.
Yeah, she comes up to about like Flowerhead's like armpits or so.
Redman would be a bit bigger, but like there's no like true size for him. I never really thought. It's just sort of like he's like what's his name from Kill la Kill, the guy who's like big. He's like just as Katakuri. No, from Kill la Kill. That guy's from One Piece.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He's like the big guy with the blonde hair, and he's like one of the captains of this thing.
I know who you're talking about.
He fills the screen.
Gamagori. See, I was close.
He fills the screen based on like the scene he's in, and he doesn't really have like a fixed size.
Yeah, that makes sense. He's as big as he needs to be to fill the entire shot.
It's as big as he needs to be to like for intimidation purposes if he's supposed to be doing that. And like Redman is the same. Whatever is the funniest size for him to be, it airs big, and he's like, whoa, I'm a big guy full of blood.
He's this big.
Yeah, Redman can be that big.
Yeah. Yes, I started drawing that in like the morning, and then I had to do the RFCK art stream for the Death Furnaces contest, which was a great contest. There was some very impressive entries in that. But then it got late, and so I didn't finish it until your birthday was over. Gomen Nasai.
That's fine. I like waking up.
No, I'm so stupid.
Because it's worthless. Like I go to bed and it's like, that's a nice birthday. Got some nice art. It was cute, fun.
Oh.
And then I wake up and there's more.
But guess what? It's not over. It's not even over. That's not
I'm gonna
even...
be this age for an entire year. It's my birth year.
The party's just getting started. It was fun. I spent a while on it because I wanted to include everyone. There's probably more I could have included. Could have included Dog.
Yeah, Dog.
Dog would have been nice, but he's not invited to human parties, I guess.
I mean, it's nice you drew so many of them. Most people, it's like you see it on commission sheets. It's like, oh, it costs this much to do this thing, but if there's an extra character, it multiplicatively increases as the number of characters goes up. 7 characters? Oh, that's 1,000. That's 1,000,000. And so you drew everyone. You drew a bunch of them.
I wanted to get them all in there. Shit, where is... Damn it, I'm trying to post it in the chat and I can't... Oh, there it is. I saved it over on the other side of my stupid desktop. I'll just put this in here for Eleazar. Bam. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to get them all in there. Wanted to have Flowerhead, because he's my boy. Wanted to have Katie, because she's got lore.
Yeah.
She's got lore that I'm invested in. Had to have the pony.
Had to have the pony. Had to have the little hippo.
The OG. I almost forgot about Hippo. I almost forgot that Hippo is his own character. And then I think, I was when I was looking up the reference to figure out how big Lord of Ghosts is, I remembered, oh yeah, Hippo's actually in comics. Okay, well I guess he gets the spot. And
you got the Pumpkin Alley doing the pose from the game that you could play right now.
Yeah, they're really doing it. Instead of holding a party favor or a piece of cake or a drink, she's just got Allie over the head. That's the party favor she's taking home.
And you got my giraffe right at the top.
What's her name?
I was thinking about it. I was calling her my giraffe OC for a long time. And she's sort of what if I was a furry? What if I was a giraffe? Haha. I never really thought of a name. I think her name is Lizzie, though. I think I'm gonna go with Lizzie.
I feel like I saw you say that somewhere. I couldn't remember what it was. I feel like I remember you saying, what if her name is this? Haha, or something.
I think I was, going with, if I... Lizzie's a cool name. And people sort of assumed that I was changing my name to Lizzie, right. And they started referring to me as that. And I was like, maybe... Actually, no. I don't want to be... I like it, but I don't think that's me. I don't think Lizzie is me. But it is a good name. Yeah. Giraffe is Lizzie. That's my final offer. My foot's coming down. Hoof down.
Now I know.
I'm putting my hoof down, just like that One Pony episode. Do you think Redman could kill Iron Will?
How much slime does Iron Will have?
Oh, I don't think he has any.
Yeah, so that's rough. With that, I think if he had no slime, I feel like Iron Will would win because he would just if all he would have to do is get one good hit in, and Redman would just pop like a balloon. Or if he gored him with his horns, I think he would just deflate like a punctured water balloon. Yeah,
and all the blood would come out.
Yeah, all the blood comes flooding out. Yeah.
Redman is an enigma.
When you fight Redman, when you win, it's like that scene in The Shining where the elevator doors open and all the blood just comes rushing out down the hallway. You do not want to get in a situation where you have to kill Redman.
All right. So we got Gun Girl. I could draw this, but I just wanted to explain it. Redman and Gun Girl in the elevator in that Asuka Ray pose.
Asuka
the Evangelion pose. Then the Shining scene, and then Gun Girl's in there. You can assume what happened.
It's just her. She's covered in blood,
and the blood comes out. It's oh, we know what happened.
Yeah. Well, I drew that in Slime and Punishment. There's that scene of Redman is singing on that tower on that one bridge in Boston. and he gets gun girl shoots him in the back of the head from behind, and he falls down and he hits the ground with a big like plop, and there's just a big like like wave of blood just covers Phantom and Strawberry. Delightful. What else can I say? Love Red Man.
Yeah.
What do you? Well, as I said like an hour ago, I got nothing to say. What do you? I mean, do you think it's time for voicemails, or can we pad this out? For the suckers
no, we
at
can
home?
pad. We can pad.
We can pad. We can
talk about every character you didn't draw. Starting with Clarissa Gunsmoke. I
forgot Clarissa. You know what? I sketched Clarissa. I had.
Did you?
Yeah. No shit. Now I remember. I drew the heads in, and I remember I drew like the hat. I drew a little sketch of the hat on a head, and then I hid the layer. Oh fuck yeah! I hid the layer, and I was like, I'll come back to this, and then I forgot that layer was there. And I guess I completely spaced on Clarissa Gunsmoke. Damn, I forgot until you told me just now. Oops.
It's okay. I don't want to like show you for a drawing that you gave me.
No,
for free.
you're right. No, you're right. It's garbage. It's no. Trash. Throw it away. Delete. That's true though. I forgot. I meant to, but it just didn't happen.
If Clarissa was on this, she's like 7 feet tall, so she'd be taller than Flowerhead.
She's taller than Flowerhead. Is she taller than Redman? Like
in this image? Canonically.
Not in this image. I mean, like in your mind's eye.
In my mind, I think he's a little taller than her. But mostly he's like a wide figure. You wouldn't think of him as like a tall character, more so as like a large circle.
Ah, I see. So how tall is Clarissa? Is she like 7 feet tall?
Yeah, she's 7 feet tall. She's a tall girl.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds about right. It was very helpful. I was scrolling through you. I scrolled back through your feed to see your height chart for Lizzie.
Oh yeah.
Which very clearly was like she's 18 feet tall, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I'll have Big come up to about her like her rib cage or something like that. Very clear, concise, easy to understand proportions on that.
It's a very important
one third for the legs, 1/3 for the body, and then 1/3 for the neck and the head.
Yeah. I think I looked at like giraffe like average heights, and I think like for female giraffes 18 feet is kind of normal. So I just changed it. Like if she was a real giraffe, her legs would just be like another pair of legs, and she wouldn't have arms. And that was just be how tall she is.
Yeah, it looks like giraffe's height 16 to 19 for a male adult, 14 to 17 for a female adult. So big and long.
Big and long. Big and strong.
So ripped. Does Lizzie lift?
Lizzie, I don't know if she
ripped?
lifts. Giraffes normally lift? I guess they lift their big head.
Sure.
Their big neck.
All members of the animal kingdom get under the bar and pump iron, yeah.
Can you imagine someone that big getting under the bar? They'd have to, like, lie across the road.
I've heard it said that, like, if a gorilla could, like, understand the activity of, like, lifting weights for strength gain, they could bench, like, thousands of pounds. Like, they're so much stronger than humans are. But you can't get them to do it because they're just not. They don't understand.
They don't want to. They just want to sit
on
that big fat ass.
Believe me, they've tried. Believe me, they've tried.
They're like,
got to.
They want
We're
to
gonna feed
like
these
do
gorillas
guerrilla
protein.
warfare. They need to train the gorillas for combat.
Yeah. But like these gorillas are so like fat and lazy. They're like, oh, if only we could whip these gorillas into shape. Get them out there in the field. Give them a gun. Give them a little helmet, a little med pack, and send them out with a mission.
I had
they're not patriotic enough.
I'd love to play like a Team Fortress 2, but with different types of monkeys. Different apes.
Would they just play exactly like the classes already play?
Yeah, no. They would be like... Team Fortress 2 just means like being like different classes for different roles. And so the gorilla would be the one that charges and smashes things, and then the gibbon would be the climbing one and swinging around.
So you mean like a class-based
multiplayer first-person shooter or first-person
based on
puncher.
Different ape varieties.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would punch.
And the baboons, and they would bite, I guess.
I guess they might throw rocks or something.
Yeah. The gorillas would like throw tires at each other.
And
then there'd be the orangutans, and they'd dazzle the others with their flanges. There'd be a flange dazzle button.
Yeah, they'd be like a bard. They'd like give passive buffs. they dazzle the opponents. Yeah, blind them. They're just there to be a pretty face. Apes are. I gotta say it. Apes are horrifying. I find them. Yeah, I find apes like quite disgusting. I don't know if I've ever made that clear. I do not like looking at them.
I always thought they were like, I don't know, lumpy and funny looking and like relatable, because you can see they have like a sort of expressions that are almost similar to humans.
I find them off-putting. I find them off-putting and weird because of like, yeah, they're kind of like a human, but they're like dumb and like ugly and like dirty and like lumpy and gross, and I'm like, ugh.
But like a silverback gorilla is like a peak masculinity. This is what a real man looks like with that stance.
It's actually not true. That's actually false.
With those huge shoulders and that like arched back.
Yeah, I mean,
they got the Popeye arms. It's so fucking funny.
Sure. I mean, listen, there's lots to praise about ape kind, don't get me wrong. They're just not for me. They're just not my cup of tea.
I don't like chimpanzees. Okay. I think chimpanzees have too big of ears. They're listening to me. They're listening to too much. They got too much info.
Are lemurs apes? They're not.
They're monkeys, I think. Smaller varieties are classed as monkeys.
They are monkeys? Okay, I mean, I like lemurs. They're far enough from human that they don't like.
Yeah, they're more like squirrels.
Yeah, they don't like creep me out in the way that like an ape, like an ape does. Yeah, they do look more like a squirrel. I guess they are sort of simian. Yeah. They are wet-nosed mammals of the superfamily Lemuroidea. Are they monkeys?
I think the difference is the monkeys have tails and apes do not, but maybe there's more to it.
Okay. Lemurs share. Okay, they are primates, but they are not. They are neither monkeys nor apes. They evolved independently from monkeys and apes, so they're kind of their own thing. Yeah.
This is another primate Wikipedia moment.
I just looked up the Barbary macaque. And the bonnet macaque and the Barbary macaque. No, they're too human. I don't like looking at them. I don't want to see that.
Gibbons are apes. Oh yeah, because they don't have tails. If I click on ape. Do ape have tail?
Is that the defining feature of ape kind?
That's always how I've always understood it. Is like you see all these primates, they don't have tails, and you think of them as apes, and then the little funny ones that have tails, they're monkeys. But I don't actually know if that's true at all.
Hmm.
I'm gonna Google that
Do
exact
any
question.
apes
Ape
have
tail?
tail?
Question mark.
Nope. First result. The quickest way to tell the difference between a monkey and an ape is the presence or absence of a tail. Almost all monkeys have tails. Apes do not.
Well, there you go.
So I guess there are some tailless monkeys. That's interesting. Well, now we know. We've learned a lot here today.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And then all of those apes, they play monkey football in Apescape 2. And then they use their ape strength to smash that ball. Let's smash that like button.
Now a sensible, sober, reasonable, and not too fantastical game of soccer or football as you like between different kinds of apes. Now that would be something. You got your I don't know. I think an orangutan would make a good goalie because he's got really long arms.
Yeah.
And
do they ever do funny things with the
rest.
Planets of the Apes movies? Was it always like, we hate being in a cage and now we're gonna fucking kill you and beat the shit out of you? Did they ever play like monkey football?
I don't know. They made like 3 of those movies. Wait. Do you mean the old ones or like the newer ones?
Any of them.
I feel like the newer ones. I feel like the newer ones did have like wacky stuff happen in them. I don't know. I only saw the first one.
I remember the first one. I remember Draco Malfoy said the line. He said, "You damn dirty ape," and the ape remembered, and so he beat the shit out of him. And then they smashed like the wrought iron like gate fence, and they used the spikes on the top of the fence as like spears, and they threw them. I was like, oh fuck! I guess an ape could do that. I guess they could.
Oh, they could do a lot of things. You'd be shocked.
They could bench press 1,000 pounds
easily. Rip you in half. Rip you in fucking.
What if the apes rose up, but just to win all the sports competitions? They didn't kill anyone.
That's the difference between other apes and humans. Is that apes are humans are efficient. Humans are weaker, but we're way more efficient. Like for our body mass, we have to eat a lot less than apes do, which gives us like free time, like because we don't have to spend like all of our time hunting.
Yeah, it's like the the fastest land mammal is a cheetah, unless you account for humans inventing the bicycle, and then we're faster.
Well, actually, a human could catch a cheetah because a cheetah can't maintain that speed for a long time. A human can maintain like a base speed for like hours, days. A cheetah like can run really fast really quickly, but it gets tired, and like over a long period the human will catch up to it because it just can't, it doesn't have the stamina. Yeah,
but also a human could have like a fighter jet and like zoom and like bomb it.
Oh yeah, true, also true, yeah, fair. And if it's just about, I mean, if you don't care about like catching it and like cooking it, if you're okay like blowing it to smithereens, then like yeah. We have lots of tools at our disposal for that sort of thing.
Did you see that image? I don't know if I posted it anywhere. It was something I saw on Twitter. There was like 9 images. You have to pick 2 of these groups of animals. There's like 5 gorillas, 7 oxen, 10,000 rats, 50 vultures, 1 guy with a rifle, 5 alligators, 3 bears, and 2 lions or 4 lions. And you had to pick...
pick 2 and make them fight each other?
No, pick 2, and those are the guys that are defending you, and you have to fight the rest. Let me find the image so you can think about it. I want to know your reasoning.
I think I have an answer. Although I guess I'll take a look at the image to be sure.
Right, there it is. So it's not as simple as you may think, because as soon as you pick 2, you have to think about all the other ones and how they're gonna catch you.
Okay, my first thought, and I'm not sure if I believe it. My first thought was to go as diverse as possible, like the two opposite ends of the spectrum. So one guy with the rifle and the 10,000 rats. And the 10,000 rats can swarm anything that might be coming at me and basically distract them for long enough for the guy with the rifle to pick them off.
Right.
I mean, I'm not... would that work? Like, would 10,000 rats... Would 3 bears coming at me even notice 10,000 rats? Like, crawling on them?
Yeah, it's hard to imagine 10,000 rats.
Yeah. That's a lot of rats.
It's a lot of rats. I feel like there would be enough rats to at least swarm all of the big things, like the gorillas, the lions, the wolves, the bears, and the gators, and the ox, or the bulls. Rats can't do shit about the falcon, or the 50 falcons. And I always thought, like, if there's 50 falcons or eagles or whatever,
That's
the only guy that can take care of them is the guy with the gun, but he needs to hit 50 shots and get all of them before they swarm him, because if he's under attack by 50 eagles, he's not going to be able to focus and shoot anything. Like, he's going to be swatting them away or running.
Do you think you have to pick the falcons just because nothing can effectively defend against them?
I would always pick the gorillas, because I imagine the falcon coming down and then the gorilla just slapping it out of the air. I just like that, because they have opposable thumbs, they have the ability to, like, slap things and grab. The rest of them, like the bears, the wolves, the lions, they don't have hands, they have to bite at stuff, and that's harder.
The 50 falcons, I mean, I don't know how effective they are. I know from Animorphs that such birds can, like, rake eyes and, like, pluck eyes out. So they might be able to, like, blind the gorillas, at which point they could no longer defend you effectively at all. I don't know if they could do that. I'm not sure if they'd be able to do that before the gorillas, like, swatted them all out of the air. Okay, I'm circling back to the rats, though, because I'm looking it up, and a rat weighs, like... It kind of depends on the variety of rats. Some rats can weigh up to 1 pound. And so... And, like, a bear... Well, a black bear weighs 600 pounds.
These are brown bears.
How much does a grizzly bear weigh? A grizzly bear weighs... 600 pounds? Wait, a black bear and a grizzly bear weigh the same amount?
No, that can't be right. Black bears are small, comparatively.
I thought so too, but I mean, it's telling me that they both weigh about 600. Okay, grizzly bears can weigh upward of 700. Either way, though, even if they weighed 1,000 pounds, 10,000 rats is way more biomass than, 3 grizzly bears. Like, that's by far the most animal. So, like, if they're aggressive, I feel like 10,000 rats is enough that they could swarm over a bear and, like... Yeah, I think the 10,000 well... They could beat 1 bear. They could maybe even beat 3 bears. But then would there be anything left of them afterwards to deal with everything else?
Yeah, it's. I feel like the question is impossible. Like you're gonna die.
I don't think any two. Yeah, I don't think any 2 of these guys could beat all the rest.
Like I think logically, 10,000 rats and the 50 falcons would be good to, like, pick off the smaller numbers of more dangerous things.
But then there's a guy with a gun who can just shoot you.
That's true, but we don't know how close he is. So if we're, like, in a separate field, separate sides of a field, and I send the falcons out to get the guy, he needs to shoot all of them, and then the rest of he'll get a few, then the rest of them will get his eyes out, and then he can't do shit. And it's sort of, I guess, the same with everything else. If the falcons can get to their eyes, and like blind them. The rats can like swarm them, do the rest.
Possibly, maybe. Yeah, I think that's if the guy with the gun has a clear shot, like you're just fucked. Like nothing can defend you from that. You got to pick defensively. You got to pick on the basis of like I'll take whatever thing I least want coming after me. Gun guy is a strong contender.
Yeah,
for that one, for that role.
Like lions are pretty fast. Wolves are pretty fast. Gorillas and bears. Gorillas are pretty fast actually when they get going. I guess everything is pretty fast. If it turns out to like if I have agency and I can do fighting, I probably would be more able to like agilely get away from like a bull than I would a lion or a gorilla. But I feel like my abilities, I would need them to be killed in order for me to actually survive. So the rats would just at least, over like a war of attrition, the rats would win just because of the sheer numbers. And then the rats would pile on top of each other, and they become like a rat mech.
The Rat King, yeah. There's just...
And then, of course, there would be a giant rat that makes all the rules, so...
Yeah, does the 10,000 include one giant one that makes the rules? That might tip it in their favor. That's too much! No, there's no two of these can stop the other 7. It just can't be done. The rest is coming to kill you. Why? Why do they want to kill me? Why is this happening?
Yeah, there's a point when you read this and you're like, why do they defend me? And why are they trying to kill me? Animals don't act like this.
What do I have? What do I have that 2 of these animals want to like get on my good side that I'll give them, and that the others want to like kill me and get? Like what's so special about me?
Little dog treats. I got Scooby snacks.
You got your pockets are just full of snacks.
The snacks are so good that the guy wants them as well.
Yeah, he's like, it's his favorite.
They just smell the bears have their noses in the air, like sniffing. It's like, what's that? And then they come across a pack of wolves. It's like, oh, you smell it too? Let's go see what it is.
Let's team up. Like we gotta work. If we work together, like all 15 of you wolves and all 3 of us bears, we can each get a little morsel. We can each get a little smackerel of whatever.
It's only a pocket full of snacks.
But it's so good though. It's exactly what you want. Oh, it hit the spot perfectly. Simsy says 50 hawks and 5 gorillas. I mean,
I just feel like if you don't
I feel like
pick
there's
the
a
rats,
strong argument.
how...
50 hawks could not.
They could kill like 50 rats.
Defend against.
I don't know, every 10 seconds maybe.
Yeah, most of the swarm would get to you, and like 5,000 the 5,000 rats that manage to get to you, like they're gonna kill you. You're gonna get gnawed to death.
Maybe I choose the guy, and then I don't know the whatever the gorilla, and then I give the guy the snacks and I run away. So they're coming after him. So it's just one guy with a gun and 5 gorillas against everything else.
Yeah, that's it. You just disguise him as I pick the guy, disguise him as me, and then I leave him. And I take his shoes so that I'm faster than him, and then I run away and leave him behind. To receive the brunt of it. Genius. Are those bulls? Is that what those
Yeah, I think so.
Is it oxen or something? Yeah.
They're male cows, and they're charging at you in a what do you call it? Matador sort of style. If you had a piece of red cloth, you'd be golden.
I talked I talked last week about my favorite animal, the oryx from the Bible, or not, no, the rheum, and how it might be an oryx or an ox or a bull or something. But I don't really know the difference. Okay, I'm looking. Oxen are like big fat things.
Yeah, they're lumbery bumbers.
Oxen are big lumbery bumbers. Bulls are a little more, I guess, normal looking. Yeah.
Oxen are bred for pulling the plow, and bulls are just there to fuck the cows.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And I guess you can eat them. I guess you eat the bull. You can eat the bull at some point.
You eat them.
Oh yeah.
And you make a steak and kidney pie out of them.
You can only make 2 of them though. They only got 2 kidneys. They got a lot of steak, but only 2 kidneys. It's a rare treat. I will make a gummy kidney and carve it up and make a pie out of it.
Gummy pies.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Meat substitute. Little cubes of chopped up meat. Little steaks, but gummy. And they flavored with beef powder or whatever the fuck.
Okay, I'll show up to a 4th of July barbecue and be like, hey guys, I have a nice, vet meat substitute for you, and I'll take out like chicken drumsticks and like steaks and stuff that I just made out of gummy. And I'll throw it on the grill, and it will just immediately melt and just drip through. And everyone will
I'm imagining that they're like the small, like tiny little pellet sized chicken wings.
Like a tiny little,
and they just fall in between the cracks of the grill. They wouldn't even stay on there.
Like the SpongeBob gummy Krabby Patty, like it's tiny. Just tiny. I'll just grab a handful. It's like a little handful of like gummy chicken. Just scatter them on the fire. And everyone will say, Ben, why? Are you like vegetarian now or something? And I'll say, no, it's made with pork gelatin. No, it's an animal product. There's no reason.
And the fire goes blue.
And gaze into it and see your future.
And it's an image of you eating at the barbecue. What if you could see your future, but it was only the most uninteresting moment? Like, oh, tomorrow you'll be on the toilet. Here's what that looks like.
Nice. Tomorrow you'll eat. Oh, what's that? Oh, it looks like tomorrow I'm gonna eat. A ham and cheese wrap. Oh, just like today. Oh, cool, nice. I can't wait. It's gonna be delicious. I can't wait. This is getting me excited. As soon as this podcast is over, I'm gonna make another gummy batch. I'm gonna try it again with less gelatin. I discovered that I can reduce the gelatin and be fine, and that's good. I'm gonna try and increase the fiber and see if the less gelatin still works with the increased fiber. And if it does, I'll be like, mwah, mwah, perfect, beautiful.
Do you have like exact measurements for like grams and stuff of how much you're putting in?
No, I don't have like gram measurements. I use like tablespoons.
Well, I mean, those are exact measurements if they're like consistent.
Yeah, I mean, I do have a specific recipe that is like sort of my baseline now, that I was like taking that baseline and like making slight changes to, and it's like seeing how it. I took that and I was like, okay, will it work with less gelatin? And I tried it with less gelatin. I was like, yeah, it still worked. Okay, cool. It's because I'd like to have basically the gelatin is just there to give it consistency. So the least gelatin I can get away with while still keeping that consistency, it's like, okay, good. Any more gelatin than that would be a waste. And I would like it to have as little water as possible, because the water doesn't taste like anything, and you get the best consistency with the least water. It becomes like the chewiest, and I like it chewy. So, and then the least sugar as possible, because that's calories, and calories are bad. So my goal is less gelatin, less water, less sugar, more fiber, and try and find the optimal mixture there that gives the best consistency, the best flavor, but doesn't become if you use too much fiber, it kind of becomes kind of soft, sort of falls apart, sort of becomes kind of mushy. Well, that's not what you want.
I guess you just have to keep doing
all things in harmony.
I guess you have to just keep doing the scientific method and changing one thing at a time to see if that makes a difference, negative or positive, and trial and error your way to the perfect gum.
Nobody told me that the scientific method, you had to do it over and over again. Nobody told me I would have to do more than one experiment.
I thought I could just read my book and then do it immediately.
I was just I thought, it's like Rabbit said in Pooh's Grand Adventure, if it says so, so it is. I thought I could just write it down and be like, okay, I'm done. And there would be nothing left to learn. You're telling me I have to gather information and form a hypothesis and then test the hypothesis?
Yes.
No! Well, I will do that then. Because I care. Because I
Gummy
care
wizard.
about my work. I'm very happy.
You become a gummy wizard when you get the right recipe. Until then, you're a gummy apprentice.
I have a recipe, and I would consider it a success, and now it's just okay, but what marginal improvements can I make to perfect it? That's the goal. The frustrating thing is when I try to do it, I always try to do okay, add more sugar to make it more candy-like. But every time I do that, it becomes goo. If you put too much sugar in it doesn't work at all. It just comes out as goo. It's there's a line, there's a threshold that I'm crossing. I want to find the perfect, just enough so I can get the maximum candy-ness to it without going over that threshold, and it just becomes goo. It's so delicate. Such a fine line, such a fine process of refinement. It's beautiful. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do as soon as this podcast is over. Do you want to start voicemails?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a modest amount this week. I'm on SpeakPipe. Do you see him?
Yep.
All right. Looks like our first one is called My Deepest Gratitude. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ben, I don't know how I didn't know about Digibro's opinion of Netflix's cuties before, but thank you so much for bringing it up on the podcast. I'm so fucking glad that now I know, for real, I have confirmation that Digibro is in fact not into black little girls, and I don't know how I lived without having this information before. It's amazing. It's perfect. Thank you so much.
I forget what that was from, but I remember the clip of May.
Yeah. It's not from anything. It just is its own thing.
Was it just a Twitter video?
Maybe it was on Twitter. I guess it wasn't on YouTube. I don't remember. It was during the May is Digibro arc, which technically never ended and continues.
It's just the way she says that line.
It's the way she says it, and the way that there's the line itself. There's everything that she's saying in the video, which is vile.
I don't even remember what she says, but I can imagine.
There's everything that she says. That's bad enough. There's the context that she lays out for it, which is she's talking to the IBS crowd, which I don't exactly know who that is, but I think it's a Killstream group of people. So she's talking to the Killstream people, which is also bad, that she's having this conversation with these demons. And then on top of that, I think kind of the thing that sticks out to me the most about it is the confident way that she thinks she is mimicking the mannerisms of the quote unquote character of Digibro, and she thinks she's nailing it. But not even close. She's just yelling. She's just yelling, and she thinks she's doing something with it. And it's so amazing. It's beautiful. It's like, it really is just a classic that can never be topped. And you're welcome, voicemailer. Next one is called Did You Know? 3, 2, 1, go.
Did you know that Did you know that... Oh.
I did, thanks.
I didn't. Thank you for the knowledge.
Next one is called Grading. 3, 2, 1, go.
I give Ben Saint's grading system a 5 out of 10.
What's my grading system?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Shit. I don't remember what this is in regards to. Sorry. Next one is called Getting the Timelines Straight, but it's straight with an 8, like Briska. 3, 2, 1, go.
Also, was the first Procrastinators podcast...
What do you mean also?
After? The second retcon, because you never mentioned it until a retcon until the third.
What?
Maybe this guy left a voicemail that we did last week, and then this is another one.
I'm sorry.
That's following on from it, but I can't remember what they said.
Is he asking if the first Procrastinators was after the second RadCon?
You know, I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure at all. We did that. We had the horse.
The answer is no.
And
the Procrastinators, had existed for a while before any such thing as RadCon occurred.
Yeah. I honestly forget the order of events. We were the Horseshoe Crew, we had the Horsecast, we went to BronyCon, or you went to BronyCon, but then I went to BronyCon at some point, and then after that we decided to do RadCons.
That's
all well
before
the
RadCon
PCP happened.
No, I'm very confident the PCP was a thing before the first RadCon, which, you know, the first RadCon, we didn't even call it RadCon at the time, right? Like, we just all went to Trixie's house for some reason, I think?
I think we came up with the name, like the Rad Conference. It was a conference rather than a convention. We kept saying that.
You were there at the first one?
Yeah, that was the first one. Second one was when Devu and Munchie came, and Jeff, lol.
Jeff.
And Tom. Tom was not at the first one, was he?
I don't think so. Wait.
No.
So the second one was the one where Devu made like the shirts?
Yes.
No.
I don't remember Devu.
No. RadCon 1. I recorded Sonichu 101 was at RadCon 1 because I didn't do a lecture at RadCon 2 and I always regretted it.
Right. That was the Plebe and the Weeb RadCon.
Yes, RadCon 2 was the Plebe and the Weeb RadCon. RadCon 1, but I had the shirt in the Sonichu video.
I guess
so
Devu
was there.
Was Devu living there at the time?
Yes. That's right. Yes, that's right. We had moved in. We had just moved in, and so me and Devu and Trixie were there, and
everyone else came.
Everyone else just came just because? Was there no like?
Well, there was no overarching like let's do a specific thing. It's just like we like hanging out at BronyCon, but BronyCon only happens once a year or whatever. Let's just do it whenever. Let's meet up whenever.
Was it like? Okay,
it may have been the same year after the BronyCon, in fact. Was
it just, like, basically the same time as the BronyCon? Like, BronyCon ended, so we all went back to that house and just hung out? Or
BronyCon was in the summer of that year, and I think at the winter, like November or something, we came together, and then January or February the next year was RadCon 2. Or, like, March. It was close to the first one.
I feel like we've rehashed this a few times, and like this is not the first time I've like struggled to remember like why did RadCon even happen. I think you're right.
It was just an
BronyCon was in the
excuse to hang
summer.
out, and
BronyCon was in the summer. RadCon was in the like winter. Or RadCon was like a couple months later, and then RadCon 2 was only like 6 months after that. Because they had made the plans for the Plebe and the at RadCon 1, they conceived of and planned out the Plebe and the Weeb, and then a few months later they did it, and that was the excuse for RadCon 2, etc., etc.
And RadCon 3, I remember coming in at some point to you and Munchie sitting in a closet, like conceiving Endless War, and the bot
at
and
3?
everything.
At 3?
I think so. Like before that, there was arm retrieval. That was the thing Munchie was doing.
Yeah. I'm trying.
And arm retrieval con happened at the end of RadCon 3.
Yes, you're right, because RadCon 3 was in winter in 2018. It was like January 2018, and then Endless War came online in April of 2018. So yeah, that would have been before. Wow. Imagine that. Wacky. Wow, and that was
then RadCon 4, we created COVID and we infected the world.
We sure did. And I gotta say, things have gone better than expected. Anyway. But anyway, the PCP was already a thing. The PCP was a thing. There was the Horseshoe Crew. No, the PCP was already the PCP well before the first RadCon. That's for sure. Like the horse days were over by then. Next one is called Ray Tracing, more like Gay Tracing. 3, 2, 1, go.
People are adding realistic lighting to N64 games, and I just have to wonder what the fuck is the point to all this. They're just making the games look a lot worse. Like, they were created with an art style in mind, and they're just spitting on the faces of all the artists who had to craft the games to look a certain way because they were designed with that aesthetic in mind. Do people even think this shit looks cool? Because it doesn't, and if you do, then I guess you're just fucking stupid.
Well, there's no reason to be so evil about it, but I agree.
I have not seen what this guy's talking about.
I don't know exactly either. I guess maybe it's mods or something, or like Mario 64. Realistic lighting. It just makes old games look bad because they didn't have the technology to do.
How would you even add realistic
lighting?
How would you even add realistic lighting to Mario? Like,
I don't know.
Would you make
people have made like
shiny?
Texture pack things in Minecraft that completely change the way the game looks. So I think you can mod stuff around if you have the code.
But I mean, like, do you mean like, I don't know, light coming off of like torches in the castle or something? Or like what?
I mean, even just something as simple as the sunlight being a point that casts shadows. They didn't have that in other games. The shadows were like objects.
Sprites,
instead of like procedurally generated based on positioning of things. But yeah, I generally dislike realistic lighting if as like a default it makes it look gooder idea. It's an aesthetic that can look good if that's what you're going for, but like it is not a blanket upgrade. It's not a straight upgrade to the alternative, which is not that.
I haven't seen it, what this guy's talking about, but I'm sure that it can't be an improvement on, just like a well-considered art style. As like a technical exercise, I can see how maybe it's like, what if we added ray tracing realistic lighting? I doubt many people, I mean, unless I'm wrong and people do think this, but I feel like people aren't going to be like, finally, I can play the game and it looks good now because it's got realistic lighting. The non-realistic shadow physics always like bugged me so much. Like I just couldn't handle it. I doubt it.
People pog at, I don't know, technical stuff.
I don't believe
it. I guess they like it.
I've never understood.
I can't lie and say that seeing something as intricately like detailed and well lit and beautiful as something like, I don't know, Bloodborne, right? That has realistic lighting, but it's also extremely artistically designed. Like all of the things you would see and the way like realistic shadows and stuff play well in that sort of a setting. It doesn't make it worse or better, it's just sort of, it works. It's a tool. I guess that's the main thing. Realistic lighting is a tool, just the same as any artist's tool that you could use, and you don't have to use it all the time. A lot of games look good with it, but not all of them. Especially not older ones.
I find it so... It seems alien. It seems alien to me to be like, excited about something like that. Like, realistic lighting, like, ray tracing, technical specs. Like,
I don't even think people are excited about it. I think they're just so used to video games looking that way that when they come across one that doesn't, they feel like there's something missing. When they're, I don't know. Who can know the truth?
Like
No
it's
one.
it's off-putting to see like an older visual style because it's just games don't look like that anymore.
I guess so. I mean, Oblivion, right, objectively looks quite ugly from today's standards, but even though like the textures are like kind of blurry and the distance, the pop-in draw distance is very low, and there's no anti-aliasing on like leaves of trees, I still look around and I can see that it's like a beautiful image that I'm looking at. It's just low fidelity in some areas. A HD like crispier version wouldn't ruin it, but it wouldn't. It's not like necessary for me to enjoy what they're going for artistically for some of these, like, especially since I've been like riding my horse instead of fast traveling. I get to like see the scenic route and be looking and like, wow, they thought about how the Imperial City would look up on this hill looking down on the road towards like Shaden Hall or whatever. It's like, it's nice. I think at the time of Oblivion, it was a novel thing that the mountains in the distance were actually physically there that you could walk up to and climb before they would just be a skybox thing. And it's sort of like a marvel of the time that like you could actually go to all of these mountains that actually physically exist as 3D things.
I think, like you'll never, like you can never make like Mario 64 or even Oblivion. Like you can never make it look like a modern game. Like you would basically have to just completely remake it to accomplish something like that. Like you'll never be like, oh well, it doesn't look like games look nowadays, but by changing this and that about it, I have made it look like a modern game. Like you just can't do it. You're always gonna have to put up with or accept some amount of, oh, this game looks old because it is old, and there's just nothing you can do about that.
I think there's also a thing with like remakes of games that are in a cartoony style made in of an era where things were low poly, like Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Newer versions of Crash Bandicoot don't look bad. They are different, and they're different in a way that I don't particularly like. But I don't hate, I don't think it's a worse Crash Bandicoot necessarily. There's no like objective like, oh, more polygons made it bad because he had less polygons when he was designed. It's just that the less polygon Crash Bandicoot looks great still. You don't need a HD version of him to play the game and have fun. The HD version of like the remastered Crash games, I haven't actually played those particular ones. I played the Spyro remasters. They're still good. There's nothing wrong with them, and I don't mind that they did that. But I do mind when people say that there's like a preferred, like better version. Like you have to play the one that's the remaster because it's HD. Like there's no.
Yeah.
It's just a different. It's an apples and oranges thing.
That's how I feel about Mega Man. Like I just don't. I've been starting to appreciate the like later graphical style. Like I used to hate the like higher resolution sprites on like the PlayStation games, like X4 and onward. I used to hate them. I've sort of been like, it's not so bad. But I do think like it looked perfect on the SNES 16-bit. It does not. It did not. I don't think it looks better. I definitely don't think it looks better in any of the later, more high tech consoles. Even though they like fucking the resolution is like 10,000 times better. Oh, it's more detailed. Oh, the frame rate's higher. Like, so what?
It's very easy for me.
That's fine and all, I guess.
It's very easy for me to like think of the higher resolution versions of these things as worse. Because they're not they're not original and they're just graphics over art style. But genuinely, it's not always the case. Sometimes you can like keep the art style basically intact, or the feeling of the art style, and like just do it a different way with modern tools, and it's good. It just doesn't. It should not diminish the past, because the past looked good at the time, and it still does.
Stop me if I said this exact thing before, but like, I came to appreciate the X4's graphics more, because at first I'm like, ugh, like the higher res sprites, so many frames of animation, so smooth. Is this really necessary? Who needs all this? But then I played X5, which has the same sprites, but like much worse art direction. Like, some of the backgrounds in X5 just look wrong. Like, they took like a high resolution, well, not a high, they took like a photograph or something and they just like scanned it and they just put it as a background object, and the lighting doesn't match. It looks like a bad Photoshop job. It sucks. Like, they kind of just made X5 look bad, and then suddenly I'm like, oh, they actually did fine with X4. Like, it didn't suck the way this sucks. Like, I can't believe how bad some things in X5 look. Like, they thought like, oh, well, we got high resolution. We got more pixels on it. We can do anything we want. Oh, we can just have the final boss be a big PNG in the background. Oh, it's great though, because we can fit, because our game's in 480p now, and it's gonna look like, oh, this is gonna stand the test of time. Like, that's what they thought. Sloppy. You there?
Yep.
Okay. Excuse me.
I have no Mega Man thoughts.
That's all right. I think we're on the same page. Next one is called Ben's Weekly Reminder, Play Deltarune Chapter 2. Okay. Next one is called Talk About Pirates. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, did you read the new One Piece from a couple weeks ago? Pretty crazy, right?
Yes.
Look, I just want to hear someone talk about One Piece, people who I like, people who aren't Ben's obnoxious, pseudo-intellectual little brother. Thank you.
That's that's a valid opinion. If that's your opinion, then I understand. That's fair. All right, it's valid.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly which one they're talking about. They made this thing yesterday. They're saying a few weeks ago.
I think they could be referring to any number of different chapters.
But the Wano arc is essentially over now.
Oh, I should catch up then, because
they are in the phase where it's like, the fighting has concluded, and let's all think about what's happening next, and like the lull in action. People are talking now and partying and all that.
I was like one chapter past Nika, I think, so that's as far as I got. So I should catch up.
So specifically, what they're talking about?
Wait, we did talk about One Piece. We talked about the gender bathroom whatever stuff.
Oh yeah, we did.
So it's
if that's what you're talking about, voicemailer.
So we did talk a little bit about pirates.
We talked a little bit. I don't know what else there is. Like, they did it. They punched the guy, and they won.
Oh no!
Who would have thought?
Spoilers. God.
The bounties in the newspapers. The newspaper came and all the big numbers arrived.
Oh, were there more zeros, or at the very least,
I shan't tell.
Did the number in front of all the zeros increment up somewhat, perhaps?
Oh, who can say?
Nobody knows.
In fact, I actually forgot. I should reread it. Lol.
Well, I should catch up with that. Next one is. Oh, it's a Vokaru link. So let me
The One Piece is on a 1 month break right now, I think, and it's gonna come back with the lead into the next arc. So I'm excited for that.
Very exciting. Delightful. It's now's as good a time as any, I guess, to pick up.
Oh wait, yeah, they said specifically it's like the final arc of One Piece is
I
coming
saw
up.
that announcement. That's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah, people are saying like, what does
but it'll
arc
be the
mean?
But it'll be the longest arc. Yeah, because the Wano arc took like 6 years.
6? Yeah, it could have. I haven't been paying attention, but
it took a few years at least.
It took at least 2 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that is the longest one so far.
And I thought the fucking not Fishman Island. What's the underwater one?
That's Fishman Island.
No, is it Shao Body? Wait, no. Sorry, I was thinking of Arlong Park. Yeah, you're right, Fishman. I thought Fishman Island was long.
That was the longest at the time. Punk Hazard. No. Dressrosa was the longest since the Fishman Island.
Was Dressrosa longer than Wano? No.
No, but Wano is now the longest, I think.
Yeah, he just keeps making them longer and longer. Yeah.
It's just the way it's Act 5, Act 6, Act 6, Act 6,
God,
Act
it
5.
Is! Oh god, it is! It's just like that! Well, it's not just like that.
It's not just...
It's not exactly the
same.
same.
Things I expect to happen in the final arc of One Piece. Elbaf, the giant island, will be integral. Usopp will tell the tale of meeting Dory and Brogy and their pirate captains, and then they'll be like, "Oh, Usopp, God Usopp, giant King Usopp," or something. It'd be very funny.
I hope you're right about that.
I mean, it's been building up for so long. The fact that Usopp made friends with Dory and Brogy way back in like the Alabasta arc or like the beginning of the Grand Line. And then he met the Oimo and Kashi at like Impel Down, the two like Frankie guys who are also giants. And it's like, and then he made friends with Hadrudin, who is now part of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. And it's like, all these giants who like Usopp, and they've got to go to Elbaf because Big Mom wants to go there. And Big Mom's, I don't think she's dead. I think she's going to come back. There's going to be like a war. There's going to be a war about it.
There's probably going to be a war about it, yeah.
Katakuri's going to come back. There's going to be some sort of big Elbaf thing leading into a race to Raftel. Because at this point, I think the Straw Hats have all the pieces of the map they need to find, that all the road poneglyphs are, at least, I think, in their possession in some form, either written down or like physical. They know how to get to Raftel, and then everyone's going to be there. Everyone's going to go. And everyone's going to fight, and everyone's going to die. I don't know what's going to happen. There's so many moving parts, but I think the beginning will be Elbaf, because we got to see that. That's been like built up since giants had been like mentioned in One Piece.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's that's one of those things like Laboon. That's like, well, that's just been a essential character moment that needs to pay off, or else what was even the point?
There's all the ancient weapons. There's the history of the world that Nico Robin is piecing together.
Yeah.
there's Blackbeard and his plans and what he's got going on. There's the Revolutionary Army, like what's happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to the attack
Oh,
on
God.
Marineford? Not Marineford. Marie-Joie. Like what happened to like Sabo and everyone? Are they okay?
God, there's so much. Yeah. If this is the last arc, it is gonna be like 10 fucking years long.
It's gonna have
so
to. I mean,
much.
I feel
Yeah.
like when they say arc, they don't mean it in the way that the fans have interpreted the arcs, because arc
Maybe they mean it
doesn't
in the
necessarily mean like
God. Do
the
you
way
think they
that
mean like
just a thing where they arrive at an island and something happens.
yeah?
That's sometimes considered an arc, and sometimes it isn't. So,
mean,
like, I don't know.
Could they mean it in the sense that like first there was like they were in the East Blue, and then they went to the Grand Line, and then
they're in the New World.
Yes, and then there
this
was
is
the New World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the final arc, like a 4 arc,
Yeah.
4 act. I don't know.
Yeah. The New World is that everything past Fishman Island?
I think that's including Fishman Island. It's like post time skip, Fishman Island, Punk Hazard,
I meant
Dressrosa, Big Elephant.
Yes. I meant geographically past Fishman Island. Like they cross the red line or whatever.
You cross the red line or go under it rather, and that's the part of the Grand Line that a lot of people don't get to.
Yeah. Right. So exciting. I'm getting hype. I'm getting hype thinking about it.
Yeah.
The next voicemail is, what was it called? Something son of a glitch. All right, you have the Vocaroo link?
Yep.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
My favorite show on the internet, Son of a Glitch.
Hi, welcome to Son of a Glitch. I'm Benjamin, and today's glitch is women.
Like a glitch of humanity. Like Adam was in the garden, and then he glitched, and his rib turned into a woman suddenly.
Well, it's just women just have a glitch in their genes. They got that weird X chromosome. They got that weird
X chromosome that makes them be shopping.
They just turn out all fucked up and shit. I don't know. You think they're supposed to look like that? No. Unlike women, I have no X chromosome and therefore face no such problems in my life. What can I say? But I agree with this guy. Is that Oblivion? Hi, Oblivion. I think it sounds like you've graced us yet again. Next time is called Popcorn Nihilist. Live to see things burn. Instant gratification. 3, 2, 1, go.
Bro, what do you mean, Kaku? What do you mean, unicorn? Bible unicorn? We all know the best cow is Girafarig. I already told you.
Girafarig? Yeah. The best cow. We were talking about maybe giraffes were cows. Turns out they're not cows.
Yeah. We looked. I was wrong. Even though Kaku ate the Ushi Ushi no Mi model giraffe, that's just One Piece taxonomy must be different. Giraffes are not actually cows, but nevertheless, Girafarig's fine. He's okay.
Buffalant is better. More cow. And
also
hair.
Not technically a cow, but maybe as much a cow as a giraffe is, so I'll count it. Buffalant's good. Tauros is good.
I like Buffalant because he said Buffalant in the Minecraft server.
He sure did. I do like Miltank, just because I like Pokemon that have, like, healing abilities. I just think that's a really cool thing for a Pokemon to have, is, like, healing moves.
I thought you were going to say, I really like Miltank because I just like Pokemon that have their tits out.
No. Not today. I liked I liked Chansey because it had soft boiled, and Moo Moo, or not Moo Moo. It's got Milk Drink. Can Milk Drink heal other Pokemon, or can it only heal itself? Does it, like, suck its own tits? But it won't let anyone else suck on them.
That would be funny if it was
selfish.
If like a double battle thing, it would heal the other as well. That'd be fun.
Actually, I'm curious. Milk Drink. Move. Can it be used out of battle? Prior to Generation 7, Milk Drink can also be used outside of battle to transfer some of the user's HP to another party member. Each useful transfer 20% of the user's HP up to the target's maximum HP. The move will not work if the user has 20%. Wait, but not anymore? Does it not do that anymore? It says prior to Generation 7. Weird. Milk Drink restores up to 50%. Okay. Oh, that's so bizarre. So it heals the user in battle, but outside of battle, it gives away the user's HP to other Pokemon. Awesome. That would
it does.
That would be so useful in like a Nuzlocke sort of setting, in like a dungeon. That would be great. You'd literally just have your fucking cow given its milk. All the other Pokemon are drinking it. They're staying healed. They're staying topped up and healthy. And then you go into battle and you have it heal itself. It probably doesn't have that many PP, though.
Yeah.
But that's awesome.
As with most things in life, when you run out of PP, you're fucked.
Sad, but true! Alright, next one is called Rest in Peace. 3, 2, 1, go.
Dude.
You see them snakes right there?
Yeah.
You see them snakes right there?
Yeah.
I care more about them snakes than I do a human life. Just like that, man.
Okay.
Them snakes mean more to me than any human being ever born.
What the fuck?
I relate.
I
agree.
I don't really understand, but I mean, sure. Why not? Kill people, live snakes, feed people to the snakes, let them eat the people, please. Thank you very much. Okay, next one is called Thank You Gibbon. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey Gib, just wanted to say thank you for helping Ben Saint process some of his thoughts there. Genuinely, thank you.
Jesus.
I want him to be able to be a funny man again.
Jesus.
But I know he needs to give himself a break. And I mean, we all can point fingers and laugh at Ben Saint. But
come on, man.
I know we'd rather all point fingers and laugh with Ben Saint at the end of the day.
Thanks.
Thank
you. You know what? This guy's making a lot of sense. This guy's talking a lot of sense right now.
I'm not pointing and laughing at you. I'm pointing and laughing with you.
Yeah, I mean, at someone or something else, perhaps, or maybe
behind
just
you see,
or maybe just in general. I'm not pointing. I'm pointing and laughing. I'm pointing at you, but I'm laughing with you. Perhaps. Next one is called A Hot Summer Day with the Ralpha Males. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh God, this baby.
He's pretty annoying
Papa,
as babies
it's so
go.
dang old gosh darn hot out here. How am I supposed to get my training in to kill Ben Saint if I can't hardly breathe? Well, son, that probably means you have asthma or something. That kind of sucks. But you know what? I'll get you an iron lung. And I'll get you like a sniper rifle, so you don't have to like run up on him. See, sniper rifles are very American. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna show you this movie called American Sniper. It's about a guy who shot a sniper, and he was American. It's pretty good. Wow, Papa, thanks. You need to like fucking like go inside.
Get you an iron lung and a sniper rifle.
I'll just pick that up for you, son.
Just pick it up at the hardware store. Okay, yeah. I mean, that sounds pretty dangerous. All right. I should watch out for that, I guess. The next one is called For Gib, please add me at VinnyVidiVici4 #1977. Okay.
You said the whole thing.
Yeah. Next, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, Gib, you should add me on Discord so, like, we can conspire against Ben and, like, send him memes that will brighten his day. Because,
no!
I don't know, I'm not good at, like, communicating all the time, but I can send you a meme and, you know, give somebody a chuckle, give them thinking.
This guy does send me memes sometime, and I generally don't respond because I don't know. What do you do when someone sends you a meme?
You laugh out uproariously, Ben.
Well, maybe
you go XD.
Yeah. Well, I say it in real life, but I don't type it.
The XD heard around the world.
We can only hope. We can only hope. Next one, last one, perhaps, is called AIDS. 3, 2, 1, go.
Bendo, Sento-san, I have come bearing grim news.
Mm-hmm.
My body, it is failing me. My father, Ethan Ralph-sama, he has fucking AIDS.
Oh, I heard about this.
Killing me from the inside. He studied the way of the sumo. All of his AIDS are stored in his gunto. But I have not that luxury. It is going to fucking kill me. I do not have long for this world. Oh.
Damn.
Okay, what?
Seems like
about
only
AIDS?
yesterday you were just a baby, and now you're dying of AIDS. They grow up so fast. I just heard, I didn't look into it. I heard that, a while ago it came out that Ethan Ralph, like, date raped some girl, like, while he was, like, away in Vegas, like, leaving, while May was, like, giving birth to their kid or whatever. And I guess that girl might have HIV, and so maybe Ethan got HIV from this. I don't know. It's just a maybe. It's just a maybe. I heard.
Maybe.
I'm not. I have no idea.
Well,
just what I heard. Just what I heard. I had heard about the date rape thing in Vegas before. That I had heard before. The AIDS thing is like a new development. So, I don't know. Ethan Ralph might have AIDS. I don't know. I'm just asking questions. Did you hear?
I don't want to ask questions.
Did you hear? This is not about that. But did you hear some gimmick account on Twitter had some kind of meltdown because they think that COVID is airborne AIDS. They think that like everyone who's infected, who's had COVID now has AIDS.
Huh? How could you?
The account.
Why would it now happen?
It's not.
Why is there no evidence of that at all?
Well, I guess it showed like I don't know. Some person had like an immune, like some person that got COVID showed like a reduced immune response that was like similar to AIDS, and so it's like, oh shit, this person got AIDS from COVID. COVID gives you AIDS. Everybody's got AIDS now. Well,
dang.
Well, I mean, I think it seems a little more likely that maybe they already had an immune problem, and maybe that had something to do with them getting COVID. I don't know. But anyway, this fucking gimmick account, it's called like Falconry Finance or something. I don't know. It's like a joke account about like it's like UAE Falconry Finance. It's about like Saudi Arabian finance bros who are also into like falconry. I don't know. I don't get it. It's some kind of gag. But the other day he had like he broke character to have this meltdown about, guys, COVID is airborne AIDS. We've all got AIDS. Everyone's gonna die.
I mean, at that point, what do you do about it? Why would you freak out if everyone's got it?
I mean,
I guess we all got AIDS now. Well,
I see what you mean, but I probably would, if I sincerely believe that, I probably would also freak out.
I guess you'd freak out and you'd go and get medical stuff.
AIDS.
You go to the AIDS shop and you'd say, "Can I have some AIDS suppression, please?"
I guess they have those. I guess they have some pretty good like
live
AIDS
with
countermeasures
AIDS have
now.
like you need to like forever live on a diet of specific pills so that you have an autoimmune system.
Did you see oh, that reminds me, did you watch Oki? Watch Oki's videos?
Not particularly. I think I've seen a few.
There's a new one that he just put out about I forget the name. What was it? Hang on. What was it called? I watched the new one. Oki, the king of stolen valor, about this guy called Jack Idema, and Oki goes, he went across the country to interview this guy's like ex-wife, like about him, and a lot of it is kind of just about like what a fucking abusive like psychopath this guy was. One of the things that like went wrong for this woman was that like she got HIV from this guy, so you know now she's got that, which is one problem among many that she's had to deal with since being with this dude. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good documentary, I would say. It's nice. Recommended. But yeah, AIDS. No, it's no joke. You don't want it. It's, you gotta fucking take your take your suppression meds like every day. And I mean, you can handle it that way, but like, what a bummer.
Hey kids, don't have AIDS.
Hey kids,
choose the right path. Don't smoke, drug, don't drink alcohol, and don't get AIDS.
McGruff the crime dog here saying
say no to AIDS. If an adult offers you AIDS, say no.
Definitely say no. And
Tell an adult.
And then try to like hold your coat out and try to make yourself seem bigger than them, like to intimidate them, right?
Yeah.
And make move around a lot and make a lot of noise to scare them away. Base.
That probably would scare people away if they think you're like rabid, insane.
If you're like you're holding your coat out, gibbering, making erratic movements. Yeah, don't play dead. With it, when it's a human, when the predator is a human, don't play dead, because they'll call the police and they'll call an ambulance and they'll bring more humans around. So it's not an effective strategy. Acting like a lunatic is more effective to get left alone, in my experience. Anyway, that's the last voicemail.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God. Are we just under? We're like maybe just barely at the 3-hour mark, which is honestly doesn't matter. It affects whether Eleazar will animate the tombstones, but like, who cares?
There was my brother had
but Eleazar, you better still, if we're under 3 hours, you got to do it. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
My brother was like experimenting with like the VTuber software that I used for my streams.
Yeah.
The PNG stuff.
Ugh.
He's figured out that you can have, if you have like a virtual audio cable from someone like hooked into like a Discord call, you can get someone else's audio and then put that onto a separate PNG VTuber and have two different people's voices animating two different VTubers on the same like recording or stream.
Oh,
and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah,
I don't know whether I feel like you could have like a system.
So it would be your software animating them through Discord.
Animating them and myself separately.
Yeah.
In a single video file. We could do like a podcast like that. We could have our little animation guys. They would just react to us talking. It wouldn't have to be like an extremely costly rendering thing. They would just move their mouth or shake or whatever when we have voice coming out of our mouth.
Yeah, we could automate Eleazar's job away, just like Yang said we could do. Finally, we can lay off an employee and have a robot do it instead. Would you want to?
It's the future.
Fuck! Would you want to try that sometime? That would be funny.
I think the virtual audio cable is very confusing, and I would need to like ask for a lot of help to like get that working, because I remember using it for something else, and it fucked everything up, and I didn't know how to undo it. So I had to get rid of it at some point.
I see. If you ever get that working, I would make some PNGs for myself. It could be fun. It'd be funny. Neat. Nifty even. I guess show's over.
Alrighty.
Patreon.com. Patreon.com/The Procrastinators. For our extensive backlog of bonus episodes, if that's something you would be interested in filling your meaningless hours between cradle and grave with. I know I am.
There's the Minecraft server as well, access at $5 or more.
Yes, I did not have time this week to fix my connection and test that out again. I will work on it in the near future.
All right.
And you don't need us to be. You don't need me in there. You don't have to. You can
building stuff. Yeah,
you could be building stuff. And then whenever I do fucking get around to fixing my connection and making that work, then I'll get in there and I'll be like, I see. I've been while I was away, somebody cask of Amontillato'd me into my own slime cave. Oops. And then I just teleport out, and I think I was really clever because I circumvented your trap. But it would be funny for a second. What else? Anything?
I need to get around to sending off a few more Lord of Ghosts things. I just got another one returned. I haven't had a lot of returns, so I assume if I hear nothing that it's arrived. But I have gotten a return, and I've got to send some stuff out. Kaiju-kun, their one never arrived.
Oh, bummer.
So I'm just gonna send them another one. And that's gonna be the thing for the next 100 years. Is me slowly sending more of those out.
Yeah. Again, if you are, I have a few return packages for Road to Radcon, the book, and the Plebe and the Weeb Blu-rays. These are just the ones that I found in my P.O. box before it expired. There might have been some more that I got returned after the expiration. So if you're listening and you have ordered something for me and you never got it, I might have it here. In which case, contact me anyway so I can double check that your address hasn't changed. Or if I don't have it, contact me anyway and I will just, send you a replacement, because I would consider it lost in the mail at this point. DM me on Discord or something. Or Twitter or whatever. That's it. Okay. I think that's all.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for listening.
See you next week.
We will, I don't know. We'll have something. I'm sure we'll have something. We'll have something
I'm going to all right,
probably.
here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna endeavor to finally finish the commissions that I have not finished because I've been so about doing them. I'm gonna do those. I only have like 5 to do. I'll try, and then that'll be a thing done.
How many did you do?
off the top of my head, I can't really remember. I think it was like 5 or 6.
Okay.
A number of them were not safe for work, so you didn't see them on my main Twitter.
Indeed.
And yeah. I think it was a pretty good set of things. It was just an unfortunate moment for me to get really cripplingly depressed and not be able to finish the rest of them. But thank you for your interest.
Unlike
and I will do it again later.
Unlike all those other times, which were great times for that, this one was just a really unfortunate.
I mean,
I
managed to do the first ones like almost immediately when they got them. It's like, okay, got the thing. I mean, I guess it was like partly because I needed the money to pay for my reimbursement of the flight back home because I just wanted to get home, and I was like very motivated to make sure those were done so that I could get more commissions. But then people stopped asking about them, so I'm like, okay, cutting it off.
Yeah,
just gotta finish these ones.
All right, let's end the podcast so we can go make some gummies. Woo! All right, that's it. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.